Grandpa? What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
Is the moment that our finalists show us everything they've got, the skill, the resilience, and the championship mentality that has brought them here. One last battle remains. One team will rise above the rest and etch their name into history as the champions of the first North America Kings Arena. Welcome everyone to the grand finals day of the NAKA Season 1. I'm your caster Liz, joined alongside by the ever so wonderful, fantastic private dancer.
Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? The hour is late and the teams are poised, but only 3 remain, with 1 that can take that leadership position at the top. And tonight we are going to find out which team that is.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely find out, and let's take a look at the bracket and how the teams have gotten to here.
Yeah, as you can see there from yesterday's final, or yesterday's match ones into the round ones, you saw BYL and N19 reigning supreme over their opponents. And then going into their finals match, BYL able to take a lead with a 3-1 series, dropping N19 to the losers bracket, who will now face Flash Smilodon to continue, hopefully, their history here in the NAKA tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams, Flash Smilodon and N19, have taken games away from our reigning champs right now, BYL, and they will face up against each other. And whoever wins will be looking for their chance at the prize pool. Now, looking at the prize pool, once again, we have $6,000 of total prize pool plus 62,500 tokens. Now, for the first arena stages, all 3 weeks of arena stage, BYL has secured their ticket to $1,000 and 10,000 tokens. So that's already $33,000 and 30,000 tokens in their pocket. I mean, at this point, they should consider how they want to spend this money and the tokens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. On 3 separate occasions, they have proven to be the top. But here at the playoffs, they have one more opportunity to provide that proof. And first place here will get them $2,000 and 12,500 tokens. You can see here, second and third place not walking away empty-handed either. But tonight, like we said, this is where you lay it all on the line.
Yeah, I mean, every team here today are a winner, not only in our hearts as they are currently the top teams of the American regions, but also they do get something in return, some cash prize. So it's always good to have that. Now, looking at the schedule today, we already mentioned, first off, we will have Flash Smilodon versus N19 as the losers finals, and whoever wins in that matchup will be facing up against BYL in the grand finals. Now, in between private, we have BTK versus NAKA Champions, a show match that's very exciting to watch.
Yeah, they are going to be playing in the newest and most exciting mode that has hit Honor of Kings, the Super Flow Brawl mode. So BTK will be taking on a mixed up roster of some of the best that we have here in the NAKA tournament. And then to round out the night, what everybody has been waiting for, it will be BYL taking on the winners of the losers final to finally and once and for all prove that they can reign supreme here, or will there be another team that can dethrone them?
Yeah, I mean, for Flash Smilodon and N19, this is their last chance to take revenge on BYL, who has consistently reigned supreme, right? Now, for all the viewers out there, we have something very special in game, right? Ultraman versus Honor of King collab is now ready and available in game. So make sure you jump into the game and test your luck to see if you can unlock the Ultraman Multistain skin. And the cherry on top is that the Menki skin is completely free, ready and available in game on March 18th. So make sure you log in and play on March 18th so you don't miss out on the OP skin. Now, also Super Flow Bra mode, as we mentioned, is available in the game, so make sure you complete your task in game and give this new mode a try. Drop a comment down below and let us know what is your favorite hero to play in this mode and the abilities that you are using in this mode. It's really fun, so make sure you try it out.
Can I just talk about the dubiousness of having an Ultraman event and the SNK skins available in North America? My baby skins, Mei Shiranui has a skin out there that I'm going to be rolling for. I don't know if I have enough or deep enough pockets for all of these beautiful skins.
You know, now is your time to make friends with BYL. Maybe they will send you a skin or at least some tokens into your pocket. So that is something worth thinking about for private.
Yeah, but here tonight, like we said, exciting matches here about to happen as we move on to the losers brackets. First team up here will be N19. We take a look here at their roster. B tier mid will be in the Clash lane, who we've seen such an improvement here from last week's performance to really carry his team. Fred will be in the jungle lane. The mid lane will most likely be picked up by Pigwin. The roam position will be Ayaka, and the farm lane will be Kevin.
Absolutely, man. They have shown that they have the momentum and they're ready for today's matches. Now, their opponents don't let them down because they were the runner-up for the first week and the open qualifiers. In the Clash lane, it will be Lily. In the jungle, it will be Demon Cat. In the mid lane, will be Miwaji. In the roam, will be KT. And in the farm lane, will be Forest, ready to take down the whole forest.
Yeah, both of these teams have already clashed before, and I think I want to say Flash Smiley looking to get a little bit of revenge. They have kind of slipped a little bit lower onto the ranks, but here and now with it all on the line, I'm looking for them to put out everything, especially when a strategy comes to part here in the lower finals.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see them perform as much in the past 2 weeks because N19 has just been reigning through all the matches, right? So N19 has more practice, at least in the tournament perspective in the past 2 weeks, but Flash Smiley was a force to be reckoned with throughout this entire tournament. So this will definitely be a very even matchup. Just which team comes on top really comes down to how they perform on stage and what they have ready for us today.
I think we talked a little bit off screen about this, the comparison between Flash Smiley, and I was a big fan of how N19 have been able to improve over the weeks. The little things that we saw that were chinks in the armor, they've been able to close those up. And I know you were a big fan of Flash Smiley.
I mean, I'm a fan to every team who show us resilience and perseverance and the skills they got. So let's take a look at the draft and what they have in store for us for this first game of the 5-game series.
Yeah, we're already knee deep into the draft now as well. I already see, I can point out we got a Luna and a Pei out there for both of these teams. So two very mobile, very quick assassins.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We have the Arlie and the Luna on the side of Flash Smiley. So right now they have some very core damage dealers who need a lot of farm, a lot of items to come online, especially for Luna to have a good early game. Is very important for her to carry the game on her shoulders. So on their side now, I like what Pelican picked out here as well. The Dharma provides a lot of playmaking potential with the sets that he can bring. Now they're looking for some, I would say, front line and also a mid lane that can provide utility and rotate across the map and help in the macro department without needing that much farm.
For me, it's really interesting because we talked a little bit yesterday about the combination of the Pei, Byron, and Mai Shiranui, and it's really almost a little odd that Flash Smiley would leave that open, almost like kind of a bait. And I was wondering if maybe they have some type of plan for the Mai Shiranui here, especially having a Dharma out there. You got a lot of CC that you can potentially stop her with. We've talked about it before. Mai Shiranui, she's great. She's got some great speed. Clearing in the mid lane might need a little bit of an up when it comes to like being high up on the meta, but she does get shut down by CC. She is very squishy, so it's not very hard to be able to take her down. I'm going to be looking to see if Flash Smiley actually have a type of maybe counter for that, or if they're just if maybe N19 looking for something different in their mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they will lock it in themselves because Mai is a good battle mage that can provide the early game that they need for Flash Smiley, but they do decide to lock down the Diadea first and leave it open. But it's unquestionable right now. I mean, N19 did not take it at the end of the day because with Mai in this comp, they have a great combo with Byron and the Pei, but not enough damage almost towards the late game. We saw how it fell short yesterday for BYL.
Yeah, and it's a lot of picks like that. Oh, they're kind of hovering over it. I'm not going to be taken aback by it. I'm not going to get fooled by it until that is locked in. I do like what I am seeing coming from N19. We've got a little bit of a sprinkle throughout the game, but for that kind of kicks off at every time, early, mid, and late. But the big question here is, are we going to be able to escort and rotate with Ferd on this Pei pick to make sure that he is getting the gold he needs throughout the game to become the menace he needs to be in that late game?
I mean, of course, right? And for the side of Flash Smiley, they have a pretty squishy composition. Now, early game Diadea is also very strong, right? Providing damage as well as peel for her team, but can she actually help defend and potential invade? Because Luna particularly needs the blue buff significantly, so you don't want to let your buffs go. You really need to keep an eye out throughout your jungle, and Pei is really good at invading in the early game, so I'm expecting to see some of that. That will be a deciding factor on how Pei can have his game. Now, with that being said, Private, we are walking ourselves into the first game of the first series today.
Yes, a last chance for both of these teams in a best of 5 series. One thing I wanted to bring up too is kind of the aggressiveness that maybe you have to resist when you're in the farm lane, having a Nua, especially Pigwin on a Nua pickup. You can't get too greedy, because if you get too low in any of those lanes, you're gonna have Pigwin coming in with a teleport to punish you for it. And we've seen plenty of that examples yesterday. Already up at the top, you can see a little bit of an invade there. 3 members trying to go in onto B tier mid, trying to fight it out, but he decides against it, lets them have the minion.
Yeah, I mean, also, like you mentioned, right, Nua provides so much utility. On top of damage, she also has a very long-range ultimate. It provides vision as well as can one-shot squishies if you're really, really low, so you have to be careful. But Nua does need some items to really come into force, so we'll have to see how the farm goes out throughout. We see a little bit of a poking here in the jungle, but nothing of an invade yet.
Yeah, both teams have a immense amount of respect for each other. You can tell they're not going to go ahead and get too greedy. They're being very safe about it. But honestly, I was going to say, like, some of these compositions, usually you get a little bit scared letting a free farm on your team. But the same can be said for a Luna on the team. You let that get farmed, the dashing ability that she can do to be able to get around the map, to dodge abilities, it's just immense. Now you have 2 people coming in there, 4 members down at the bottom. You see a little bit of a tremor there on to the members, trying to get a push out there, not able to take down Ayaka, now going underneath the tower, and an auto attack, able to finish off Pigwin.
I mean, I almost thought they went too deep in for the support, but they do, at the end of the day, secure that kill on Pigwin, and that is a pretty big win for them early game.
Yeah, not just a big win, but it kind of says, Pigwin, you can't just be using that emergence willy-nilly. You are going to have to be smarter than that, because the moment he came down, the entire team latched onto him and punished him for it. Now B tier mid in a little bit of trouble, gets pushed against the wall here. Pelican doing an immense amount of damage. Here comes another emergence. Oh, it looks like it kind of got canceled out there at the last moment.
Yeah, and you see both of these teams, right? They're focused on the objective-based plays. They don't want to do team fights that are uncalled for. And now with the objective spawning in 1 minute, both junglers just want to get their buffs and secure that vision into the river and make sure that they're in a good position to contest.
Yeah, 2 members, actually 3 now, with the flank coming here from Flash Smilodin. Ooh, B tier mid is still here in fight. Ayaka able to find himself and escape, but now they all latch on to B tier mid, and just great rotations. This is a Flash Smilodin who has come to play.
I mean, absolutely. They have shown that they have the team fight ready. They have a strategy, and they're always in sync with one another. Despite not having a tank for engagement, they are able to always rotate as a 5-man, and that's so critical, as a 4-man at least, so critical for securing that team fight.
Yeah, and we're starting to see them etch ahead when it comes to the farm lane, especially against a team like N19, who has been so good when it comes to that macro, comes to that farming and getting those rotations, that we have seen them split a little bit when it comes to kind of keeping those lanes pushed during engagement. Look how quickly Flash Smilodin were able to take that Tyrant, and that is going to spell a little bit of danger for N19 here in the early game. You see Ayaka, he even has a little bit of a problem tanking a lot of this damage, as soon as he goes in, he's getting bursted down. So here already got the Tyrant there. Oh, a nice little Mwaji comes in, gets a little pop up onto Ayaka. Suppressive fire on the back end for Kevin. Now Pigwin from the side, trying to get a little bit of a push there, providing some of that firepower for his team. Oop. Yep, I was about to say, spots out Mwaji in that bush, so you're not going to be able to trick him there.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking to get every little objective, every little sprite lane in the early game, because it all matters, right? The Tyrant first goes to Huna, and now it's looking to start something in the top lane private.
Ooh, yeah, they go ahead and get 2 pop-ups onto B tier mid. He's going to be able to tank that. Oh, getting very, very low, but going in. Ferd tries to get some damage there and gets baited out. Here comes the Meister anew. Does miss the push, but a great escape by Flash. Oh, as I say that, B tier mid underneath the bush, able to find himself a kill. In comes Ferd and Pigwin looking to dole out some damage, but Flash Smilodon do find themselves an escape, and that is going to put N19 on the board.
I mean, taken down so low, right? So many moments missed, but here already chasing down in the mid lane once again.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of happy there that I was very scared for Ferd to go in, put on that damage and not be able to kill something, because that kind of leaves him open, especially on a pay pick where you want to get all that farm. You want to get all of that gold so that you're at that 8-minute mark where you're able to dole out a big amount of damage. We have 3 members down here. Comes the emergence from Pigwin. Does throw out some damage. Annihilation goes out, but does not finish off 80 up there, who's counting his lucky stars and gonna find himself a quick ride home.
I mean, Pigwin's aim is on point, right? But so far, she does not have enough damage to really snipe it down fully. But it could be a scary force towards later in the game when she has the items.
Well, I mean, we've seen before when it comes to a new one, it does take a little. Oh, as I say that, down goes 80. Got a little greedy, pushed a little forward, did not realize they had Pigwin in the bush, and that is going to be a kill for N19 and a tower.
Yeah, I mean, they were aiming for that tower, right? But, I mean, as 80, she wanted to defend. She didn't think it will be what it takes to really take her down. But ultimately, that is a moment you kind of want to retreat and not let yourself also be a target.
Well, even with that, Flash Smilodon do a good job kind of keeping up the macro. They do pick up the Overlord at the top there while all of this is going on. So they are kind of maintaining their farm here. It is very, very even. Nobody really has a good step on the lead, but with these Overlords, they might have themselves enough pressure to at least be able to get a little bit of a push, maybe a little bit of a tower down. I want to say top is about the lowest. You're really focused on mid and goes into that little choker bush right there. Dashes away, Ferd able to escape like a thief in the night and costing Muaji his life on Flash Smilodon's side. What a great reaction from N19.
And right now, I mean, yesterday we talked about how Kevin is carrying his team on his back, and he's doing that again, right? With Flowborn Marksman, that's why it's so OP right now. I think it only needs about 3 items to come online, and now he already has some oddments of his item already, and the distance that he has, right? So Kevin is really popping off so early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you already saw that he had the sparks forged, and so he's able to kind of clear out lanes very quickly. So you see them doing a great job of trying to rotate him through a lot of those lanes. Ooh, actually, Lioli just narrowly missed a tremor smash coming out from Ayaka, and still trying to put as much pressure onto that mid lane. They finally turned their attention to the Tyrant.
Yeah, and this Tyrant will be taken freely by the side of N19. I don't think the Overlord did that much early game for Flash Smilodon because it's not a Shadow Overlord yet, right? So the main objective is to deny some farm for the enemy, but looking to start something here in the river to the mid lane with the tower still standing.
Yeah, you see a lot of pressure kind of building up here. Yaka doing such a great job making sure he's getting that vision, getting that information to his team. And Flash Smilodon, they're really trying to camp out some of these little choke points at the mid-line lane there. Unfortunately, we saw last time they were able to catch B tier mid, but it actually kind of turned against them. You have to be very careful about the targets that you're wasting your abilities on. Those tankier sides, especially something like a Byron or something like a Leon Poe, you're gonna waste a lot of abilities, and once you have none of those cooldowns, N19 is going to be free to turn around on you. Right now, Ferd doing a good job. Right now, we're at that almost 10-minute mark. He hasn't died just yet. Lioli, I don't believe has taken a death just yet either here, actually. Yeah, as you can see, I mean, 7.4 gold, so he's right where he needs to be. 7.9 on Lioli as well. No deaths on either of these jungles. A little bit of a dash right there. Playing with his life down at the bottom lane, but this is going to go ahead and start an engagement here down at the Tyrant. Down goes Kevin. The flow. Oh, an Annihilation Laser almost takes down 2 members of Flash Smilodon. The rest of N19 looking for a good position here, trying to find themselves an angle down at the bottom. Down goes Pigwin. That's going to be 2 down for N19. Flash Smilodon in a great position here to be able to push a tower and potentially grab themselves a Tyrant.
Yeah, I mean, that was a revenge shutdown of Pigwin. She is dashing out so much damage, chipping away the health bar of Flash Smilodon, but does get taken off by something like the Luna, right? So you do have to watch out for your positioning when you're playing against something like the Luna for as a mage player. But now she almost gets caught and is waiting for a buff to spawn in 9 seconds.
As much as I like Pigwin's Nuwa, I feel like he might have got, Nuwa doesn't really take off until like mid or late game. And when you see a Nuwa doing great in the early game, it is the exception. And there are reasons for that exception because she's kind of squishy and doesn't have enough damage to really offset a lot of damage that's coming for her. Ooh, Ayaka comes in here. Leoli dashes in as well. Gonna look to try to steal this golem, and they go ahead and clean that up nicely. Now we're starting to refuse farm to Ferd from N19, maybe looking to get a tower of their own at mid, but the pressure mounting from N19 able to withstand the push.
I mean, it's crazy how one successful, as you're saying, Private.
I know, I was just gonna say it's crazy how the successful pushes here. You can see Ayaka doing a great job of kind of being that big tank there right in the front. Tremor Smash comes out, does not catch anybody. He was afraid to go a little too deep when his team was not in a position to back him up.
Yeah, I mean, that is right now. It's crazy how one successful team fight can turn a tide around. Now with N19 City comfortably at 3K gold ahead.
Yeah, 3K gold ahead, and you can see the anti-heal beginning to stack up. Venomous Staff and anti-heal on the side of the pay there for when he goes in. Oh, and now an Overlord in the pocket of Flash Smilodon. It's only a 3-4 game, so not exactly a huge kill game, but they have been doing a great job of kind of continually putting on this pressure. We knew that the big power spikes were going to start coming in mid to late game, and I think we're about to start seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, despite losing actually the mid tower, and with the tower for N19 still standing, they're taking so much control of the map.
Ooh, we do have a big Tremor Smash comes in, does pop up a Pelican. They're going to go onto the back line. Leoli diving into the back, trying to take out Kevin, costs him his own life. Ferd able to reply in kind to take down Leoli. So 1-1 apiece. They take down the big damage in Kevin, but Leoli costs himself his life for that. Still not able to make headway in the mid lane, but now you have Overlords starting to crash at the top and bottom. Big macro movement coming here from Flash Smilodon.
I mean, at this point of the game, right, 13 minutes after the 10-minute mark, the Shadow Overlord is going to do a lot for your team, especially when you have the map that you need to open up.
Ooh, diving deep into the back line with a tremor. Ayaka goes back. They're looking to punish Pelican right now, slowing him down. He's looking for another tremor, able to dash aside. KT trying to get out of the way, trying to protect their squishier members. Down goes Pelican. That's 2 down for the side of Flash Smilodon. N19 able to turn around that push.
Yeah, we see a little bit of the poking here in the in the river, but Lily does able to get himself away from harm's way. Now he also has the blue buff on him, so far in this game, Luna has always had her buff.
Yeah, and they've just been doing such a great job kind of keeping the timing on that. Now a little bit of engagement here. Pay Ferd able to pick that up for N19. Tremor Smash lands onto 3 members. Waji running for the hills as they dive deep into there, turning it around on Ayaka, who just dove a little too deep into Flash Smilodon lines. Gets it turned around on him. Still a 2K lead for Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a specific, I mean, we've seen this tournament, right? Teams don't like to prioritize these specific counters for these assassins like the Liang or the Donghuan, but we do have some CC on the side of N19, but is it enough to stop Liu Li from just dashing around across the map?
Yeah, you almost have to preemptively dive onto your squishy. Remember, poor Kevin, I mean, you never know what angle Luna's going to be able to come and dive into your back line. The same thing goes with Ferd. You're going to have a Yaka coming from the front with that big tremor smash, and Ferd's going to be able to use that pay, get into that tiger form, and dash at you from any angle. So it is very much a game of being able to protect or get back to who's going to be able to get to the back line first. Now, big tremor smash lands onto two members. Down goes Leo Lee. Down goes Pelican. Now the rest of N19 giving chase, looking forward to add to their numbers. Down goes 80 on that Arlie. The rest, Mwaji, Katie, running for the hills, looking for an escape. N19 have the momentum, the dust at their heels as minions begin to crawl here to try to take down this mid-high ground tower.
Wow, that successful push all the way down to the crystal is bringing them to an even gold. Oh my god.
A complete team wipe comes out N19 with a first victory over Flash Smilodon.
I mean, what an incredible finish to this game. I did not expect that one team fight, that one push can take down the crystal. I mean, that is incredible. Congratulations for N19, and they successfully executed the win condition.
Yeah, and it all kind of came down to Leo Lee trying to get to that back line. And this is where they were both trying to succeed. Ferd and Leo Lee trying to get to the back line. Their job to take down the marksman, take down Kevin, take down 80. Unfortunately, a lot of times Leo Lee was actually able to get back there, takes down Kevin, and immediately gets taken down themselves. Here, Leo Lee got taken down before she was able to even put the damage onto Kevin. Now you're down the big threat of that back line, and N19 was able to push forward.
Yeah, I mean, especially with N19's composition, right? You see here the goal difference was even throughout certain critical points of the game, and it shows you that the team fights, a successful team fight and getting the objectives that you need is able to bring your team back. And this series just shows that these two teams are fighting neck to neck to each other.
Yeah, and a great job here too. I do feel like they did a great job, Flash Smilodon, when it came to kind of pushing back Pigwin, who I almost thought was going to have a little bit of a bigger effect on a lot of these matches as well. But I want to say they did a great job of making sure that every single time he was able to teleport in, they punished him and made sure that they weren't kind of stepping out of bounds, getting too low, and allowing him on that Nua to really kind of take off. So, but in the end, like I said, there was other people that needed to do a job, and unfortunately, Leo Lee was just not able to connect at that last moment. That's not talking about all the other successful times that Leo Lee was actually able to get back there, take out Kevin, and then tried to get away. Here, it just didn't happen in that last fight, and N19 very quickly understood that with Leo Lee down, they had lost the only threat to their back line and pushed forward.
Yeah, I mean, they did really good in the early game, right? But it was too difficult to go through the Juggernaut in the scaling situation, especially when the opponent have so much tankiness to them that you just cannot shred every single member down.
Yeah, I mean, a great game played by all, but I like I said, I've been talking about N19 and the improvements they made. I try looking at B tier made, try to see like what kind of mistakes we're making, if any, that we saw from last week that were able to be exploited. I don't see them. Pigwin has always been steadfast, very strong in that mid lane, and even here when it comes to in that playing on the pay, the jungler did his job, kind of stayed out of harm's way. It kind of dove in a few times there. I was a little skeptical about in the early game that if you, like I said, if you don't get that kill, you're kind of a sitting duck on pay, but he had the faith and the organization of his team behind him to go ahead and make sure that they were there to be able to kind of cover his escape so he wasn't taking too many deaths before that 8 and 10 minute mark.
Yeah, we saw some very good plays from both sides in this game, but definitely N19 making a case for themselves in this very first game today.
Yeah, and hats off to Flash Smileden. Like we've talked about, they are, I want to say a lot of people fans of them out here today as well. So, I mean, there's a reason for that. They are a very strong, a very formidable team. And we saw hints of that here. It was like I said, it was kind of a 50-50. It just kind of came down to, at that point, there was just that one mistake that was made by them and capitalized. It could have very easily been the pay that made the mistake on N19 and Flash Smileden able to capitalize on it, as they were doing a good job of pressing into their towers. And I think at that point, before that mistake, there were more towers down, and Flash Smileden was basically knocking at the gates of N19. So it just, like we said, and we've talked about this before, as the game gets a little bit later, as the time kind of moves on, these fights become more even. There's less of a chance of just steamrolling your enemy, and you have to be very, very careful about a lot of those engagements.
Especially when you don't have too huge of a gold difference, right? Throughout the game, they were pretty even on gold at points. The max gold difference that we saw in the previous game was probably about 4 to 5k max, but it's always getting closed off with one team fight. And with that happening, right, whichever team is able to find a successful dive at the right time and close out the game will win. Now, the second game is ready. Let's take a look at how the teams will adjust their drafts, right? Looking at the draft from last game private, I do feel like Flash Smileden had the right idea there, denying also the Mai, but unfortunately they were just so squishy, and it's so hard to really tank down all the damage as well as take down the front lines for the side of N19.
I think you hit the nail on the head when it came to the tankiness. But I mean, and that's kind of like I'm saying, that when you take a look at what won the game, it was just a small mistake that happened. Was the tankiness a huge problem for them? Because they were still able to burst down, and I don't feel like the loss, I don't feel like that last push, would a tank have helped them? Would a tank have made a difference with that last mistake that Leo Lee made that ended up kind of really flipping it? And like we said, it only takes that one mistake, and I don't know that it really did make two. It was part of their game plan. They played like they didn't have a tank. They went in for the burst. They tried for it, even latched onto B tier mid at one point here. Now we're going to see if they can change up that strategy to something that will be a little bit more successful for them.
Yeah, it does look like both sides banned out some very meta marksman picks right now. The Arlie is taken off the map alongside the Lone. So I think right now, looking to maybe possibly secure the Flowborn marksman. It was doing a great job in the previous game, and we saw that for Flash Smileden, they're also very successful when they execute that Flowborn marksman. Ooh,
yeah,
Jump was open.
Yeah, Zhongfei was open. Not only that, but they took out the pay pick as well, not wanting to see that. I'm wondering if they're going to go for another type of assassin heavy type of composition here. Nua taken off the board by the side of N19. They go ahead and pick up Chicha.
Yeah, Chicha definitely a great. I mean, Zhongfei might be what Flash Smileden was missing last game. We've seen how successful he is, and that's why he's consistently getting banned out by the teams. But this time he will get an opportunity to shine. Didn't do as well yesterday's matches, but today that's definitely a different strategy that Flash Smileden is going this game.
Yeah, and it's very interesting there. They'll pick up the Lapu Lapu on the side of N19. I feel like he brings kind of much the same type of tanking, sustaining, and anti dive type of abilities that Zhongfei brings in there as well. We're gonna have a big tanky front line with Zhongfei and Byron on the side of the Flash Smileden. and the Chano pickup as well. So I'm very interested to see where we go with this. Gudo picked up on the side of N19. We've talked about this before. I'm trying to remember yesterday. They actually were mildly successful with the Gudo pickup yesterday. I think they played it against BYL. I can't remember if that was the game they won. It wasn't because of the Agudo. That's what I know that as much. But the one thing that I've been seeing right now, especially when it comes to the teams here in HoK, I feel like Agudo has it's at that point where everybody understands to a very deep level what Agudo does, what they bring to it, and they do a pretty decent job of being able to withstand it. I think almost lost are the days right now where Agudo's just able to bully their way into a tower and take it without any recourse coming from the enemy team.
You know what's funny, Private, is that Agudo has found so much success throughout this tournament up until it was in the hands of N19. So N19 is the one team that has not found success in this Agudo. So they keep trying, right? Yesterday, Agudo, unfortunately, I don't think it was the game that they won. They had a pretty even game throughout, but late on, BYL was able to close off. So here we have it again. Will it be different this time?
Yeah, we're gonna see Hano picked up there. Ooh, Hano picked up, I want to say in answer to having a Gudo on your team, you pick up the Hano so that there is no counter. So maybe they are looking for this tower push strategy where they just overwhelm the tower, siege it down, and there's not much that Flash Smilodon is going to be able to do. But in answer to that, we've got a lot of CC from Liana Ying. We've got the Ganon Mo as well. We've seen how well Ganon Mo's, especially Mwaji, if you can line up those daggers from Ganon Mo, you're going to be chunking the team. Is that a Lubu I see?
Looking at the lineup for both teams, right? Flash Smilodon is looking for that late game composition. They have the Ganon Mo, they have the Chano that needs items to come online, paired up with what Lily has as well. They need to be able to carry the game throughout the mid to late game to come online. And by that time, I think if N19 is unable to finish off the game, they are going to be in for some trouble.
I mean, now that I kind of sat on it, as we move in, let's go ahead and move into the second game to see if Flash Smilodon's going to be able to tie this up. But now that I've been able to sit on it, I've let it marinate, I've digested it a little, tasted it. If you're going to have a composition that wants to siege onto a tower, Lubu with his Tremble Mortals ultimate is actually a decent ultimate to be able to kind of move the line of the enemy back even more, unless they just want to sit there and take that ultimate. So I feel like that's actually not a bad idea. On paper, we're going to see if it's as effective here with all of these team members.
Already an invade coming in from the Agudo. Do they actually notice it? And successfully, he gets the buff. The blue buff is rolling around the map. It's hard to tell in this moment, but Agudo did go straight for Lily's buff, and for Ying to not have her blue buff. It's tough early game.
Yeah, we're going to see if that kind of pays off. That is exactly what you want to be doing with an Agudo, and very lucky there too for Ferd to be able to go into the bush or go into the enemy jungle and not have anybody in there spot him. They noticed it a little bit too late, went in there, but he was already tumbling his way back to his own jungle. You can see here Ayaka in enemy territory here, but Leo Lee just really not at a position to be able to kind of contest right now. Now the rest of Flash Smilodon on high alert, want to make sure that they don't miss out on any more jungle.
I mean, that is almost a recipe for success, right? We've seen some Agudos that were popping off in this tournament are invaded early game, but Private, look at that.
Yeah, a great shield coming out there from KT. This is why I love Zhang Fei, is because at all points in the game, if you just jump onto your team member, you immediately give him a shield, keep up that sustain, and he did that masterfully for 80, who was in a bad way, almost got taken out there, but a great job by KT. Flash Smilodon's roam there as we get a little bit more. Oh, big pop up there, Luz lands onto KT, putting a little bit more pressure onto this mid lane is N19.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth that we're seeing in this game. Both teams poking each other out, but having this Zhang Fei is definitely a game changer for Flash Smilodon compared to last game.
Yeah, look at three members of N19 in here, but it does look like Flash Smilodon were able to take and pick up that buff there as well. Now they're going to go ahead and turn their attention back to mid. Great rotations here, I want to say, coming from N19. They immediately clear out their jungle, visit enemy territory, aren't able to get that, immediately move to mid. It's just very fluid. A pop-up lands onto 80, who's still trying to use his dogs, put on that damage onto a Yaka. It's getting a little low there on the back line. Kevin down to about 30% here as they continue. Oh, a nice unbridled outburst, and from the sideline, we were talking about Mwaji with those daggers, able to find himself a first blood.
Oh, if you gotta look out for one Aganimo, it's gotta be Mwaji. That amount of damage and good synergy with his team as well.
Yeah, and he was so perfect in that bush. Immediately as the unbridled outburst came out, he used that freshly forged ultimate, got double daggers out there, and that was Yaka. That wasn't even the gold, the farm laner. That was the roam for N19 who got taken out.
Yeah, and right now with the first Tyrant and Overlord spawning in 11 seconds, both teams kind of want to rotate towards the river and secure the primal position to have a good team fight.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see if both teams are in a great position. You see that B tier mid starting to teleport his way to mid lane, trying to get into a good position for this Tyrant fight. Both teams jockeying for position. Ooh, you see a little bit Pelican on the side there looking for a bit of a flank. It does get noticed by N19, who does back off back to the mid lane again. They're going to try to push this and then hopefully try to find themselves a way to squeeze in for this Tyrant fight. Or both teams are just going to ignore the Tyrant and then look for an engagement here. Very careful planning here by both teams. Very respectable. Both of them know they don't want to be the ones that make a mistake, but does look like Flash Smilodon just not in a great position here, down to 25%. Oh, you did see those blades go out there from Mwaji, try to steal it, but it was not enough. The smite from N19 able to secure it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, right, Aguro actually was just roaming around the river when Ing actually got the red buff, could have fight it, but decided to clear out more of the jungle and just kind of let this first Tyrant go, right? When you don't have the jungler there, it's hard to contest when you have the opponent ready with that smite.
Ooh, you can see a big siege here happening at the bottom lane, trying to put a decent amount of damage on to 80. KT doing a great job continually providing that shield for his farm laner. Oh, now he's going to go put some damage on. They do go on to 80. Unbridled Outburst is out there as well. Do they have another ultimate comes out from 80? Dogs all over the place. Pigwin in a little bit of trouble. Mwaji comes in from the side. Down goes KT. The roam for Flash Smilodon. Big pop-up hits onto a Yaka, and Ferd arrives just a few seconds too late to help with the fight. Tied up at 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, I mean, it was really close, right? But when you have a Aganimo, you need to be perfect in your in your range of your skills, and Hino was just able to move out of harm's way a little bit sooner than what Aganimo could have targeted for.
Oh, and there goes the Trembles Mortal from the back line. Pelican's going to have to disengage from this tower. And this is kind of the combination I was mentioning when we saw the Lubu pick up there. You're going to have Ferd, who's going to be able to really siege underneath that tower. And then you use B tier mid and his ultimate Tremble Mortals to push out Pelican even farther away from the tower to where you really can't defend it. So a great job. And it was something I was going to mention too, is like, we haven't seen them actually use this combination yet. And hopefully in the early game, they're going to really start kind of utilizing this to kind of get them ahead before we hit that mid and late game, which I feel like is going to start favoring Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, like you mentioned here in the mid lane, Hano poking down just a little bit the Aganimo. They have the early game advantage, right, Private? They have heroes. They want to take down as many towers as possible in the early game and close off the team.
Yeah, and the trouble here, you see Mwaji trying to still get these pot shots off, but he is very low, down to about 10%. If one of them notices and can close the distance, even from the side, Ayaka tries to come in there to try to put some damage on. A great and successful defense of that mid lane by Flash Smilodon, but at the bottom, N19 going to be able to find themselves another tower.
Yeah, the amount, the quickness of how N19 can rotate, having that Aguro and also having an independent laner like Chicha, right? That gives them the early game that they're looking for to be able to rotate across the map and play the macro game.
Yeah, it's just an amazing combination that they have here. Ooh, they're going to go ahead and dive onto the rest of N19. B tier mid down to about 50%. Health gets chunked again down to 25. Now you can see those blades going out for the side of Mwaji, trying to do as much as he can, just hasn't been as effective. I feel like he's one of those I've talked about earlier that he does really great when it comes to those team sets, the stuns, the slows, and that's when he really shines. Some people can really they can just walk and talk with a Gon and Mo, just willy-nilly walk and just fire off these sniper shots where all 4 blades hit. Ooh, they're gonna go in. Kevin in a little bit of trouble. You see the dogs are out. Tremble Mortals does miss. On from the side comes the unbridled outburst. Down goes B tier mid. Ayaka running for his tower. He is gonna be able to get away. The rest of N19 looking for a disengage. Ooh, Ayaka down to about 10%, is gonna have to run all the way back to base.
Yeah, and the Namin and Mark, you already see the dive potential coming in from Flash Smilodon, right? Once their damage dealers, their core heroes starts coming online, it's going to be very tough for N19 if they're unable to close the distance.
Yeah, and here now I want to say a great macro push is coming from Flash Smilodon. They have the advantage. They're doing the most that they can to kind of offset this. Oh, down to about 25%. And it's honestly crazy because of how well Flash Smilodon are able to get a lot of these pushes, especially with N19. They've got HoK on their team, so they should, in theory, be able to withstand a lot of these, get some of the resets on a lot of these towers. Unfortunately, it's just not working out that way.
I mean, HoK can't be there all the time, right? So the problem with HoK is that you have to be there across their towers, and sometimes you just gotta time it better and time it perfectly. Now, they have textbook execution of their drafts early game, but now we are hitting that mid-game power spike for the side of Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, the only big warning here is because I feel like for N19, this entire composition screams sieging ability. You have the Chica who can fire way from the back line. You've got Ferd and B tier mid who are going to be your frontline divers. Same thing with the Yaka who can get a lot of that CC out there. But I feel like the damage is going to start fading a little bit because the only real one that you have is, I mean, a little bit from Pigwin, Kevin. Oh, was that a steal coming from the side of N19?
No, I don't think he was able to actually steal this, but here, he actually steals this.
Yeah, they are able to. Oh my, and N19 looking to try to even the odds up at the top, try to get the Overlord while Flash Smilodon got the Tyrant, but they were so quickly able to roam toward to the other side of the map. They scooped that up quickly. Now they have both buffs.
Yeah, I mean, they have both buff, and at this point, right, the Overlord is going to do so much damage and put so much pressure across the lanes. So it's not looking so fresh right now for N19.
Yeah, and this was kind of my problem with the composition in the beginning, is that once you get out of the laning phase, this sieging potential that you have with this, you need to be able to translate that into a decent team fight. And right now it looks like they're not able to withstand. You can see the push here. Ayaka takes a heap of damage down to about 50%. You can see these blades coming out from Mwaji, doing a great job on the back end, just really with that suppressive fire. Ooh, Kevin by himself against 3 members, unbridled outburst. Is it going to be enough? Down he goes, Mwaji with the blade kill at the end there. Now they are chasing N19 underneath their towers. Down goes one high ground and just a whole other lane left. The bottom 2 lanes completely open, and a big problem for the side of N19. Down goes B tier mid, down goes Pigwin, and down goes the core. Flash Smilodon tie things up.
And down goes N19. I mean, at this point, Private, do you think it's safe to say that N19 should just take that Aguro, lock it in a save box, put it in the shelf, and maybe just not revisit it anytime soon today? I don't think they are very lucky on this hero, at least, so we haven't seen it find success yet.
Yeah, for N19, unfortunately, it is when it comes to the actual stats of this hero for N19, it seems to be one of those bad luck charms for them. They just they had a decent start. Well, I almost kind of want to critique that early start that N19 had. I feel like we just did not. We had this big sieging composition that we just did not utilize. We couldn't find the rotations to get to these towers fast enough. In fact, the only one time that we saw them able to kind of punish in was onto the clash lane. Pelican, they were able to use it to really kind of push him back, and they just really did not take advantage of it early enough for my liking to really base an entire composition around it.
Yeah, I mean, two critical moments, like you mentioned, that's one. And the other one was when Aguro actually took down the Ying's first blue buffs, right? But ever since that, we didn't really get to see the value of the Aguro pick, the pressure that it's putting across the map with the rotating ability. The macro play didn't come out. So unfortunately, it did not go the way that N19 was hoping for, especially when you're having that composition, relying on it. Takes away your late game potential and the damage that you can do when you're faced up against something like the Dynamo and the Channel.
Yeah, and I feel like this has been a constant kind of foreshadow and a hurdle that has come for N19 as they have a lot of W's in the early game, whether it comes from team fights, getting a lot of these invades and stuff like that, but they don't transfer that, transition that into something of substance, whether it's a tower or a push or getting some of these objectives sometimes. And what looks like a W, as you get to the mid and late game, the enemies still got their gold about them. They still got their items. They hit their power spikes. And you're at a point where you're at the mid and late game where the enemies are starting to take off and you've got one tower that you've taken down on their side, and it's like you don't really have much wiggle room you want to just really enforce that early game. And sometimes here I feel like unfortunately for them, they just don't do enough in the early game to really secure them through the mid and late, and that's where sometimes they can get surprised.
Yeah, and it seems like with picking up the Aguro, they're really trying to make this composition work. They feel like they deserve to at least get one victory with the Aguro pick. So this time around, they kind of drafted themselves in a corner, right? They had the Aguro, they wanted to pair it with the Hano to take away the potential response from Flash Smilodon. But is that what you want when you're in this part of the tournament? You are playing the losers finals. You don't want to take away any game, right? So now, with that being said, it's an even game so far.
I honestly, when I saw this matchup here on the docket, I kind of assumed this was going to go the distance. We're going to have a full 5-game series here because I feel like, as much as a fan of N19's growth has been, there's been like so much talk about the steady how good Flash Smilodon is already, and they've just had some little hiccups when it comes to their roster, some of their rotations and stuff like that. But here, especially in that last game, we were able to see what has made them such favorite for a lot of our fans out there, and it's something that we have to watch out for, especially N19. They came from the I want to say they came from the semifinals in the top bracket here, so I want to say odds are kind of in their favor, but you definitely cannot overlook a team like this in Flash Smilodon who just showed how dominant they can be. And this, like I said, it wasn't one of those just steamroll games. It was kind of a very patient, all right, they were able to get into our jungle. They're taking 1-2 of our towers. We're just waiting for some of these power spikes. And when it comes to the team fights, they just weren't in a position with some of those team fights in that composition to be able to be successful against a team like Flash Smilodon. But we're going to see if they were able to make any of those changes here to possibly put things in their favor.
Yeah, looking at the draft for the third game now is pretty 50-50 even on both sides, right? Looking at the board, N19 does take away the Ganamo and takes away the, and on the other side, once again, Pei gets banned out. I mean, and actually a very interesting decision here from Flash Smile to continuously ban out this Pei.
I think what Pei offers to the side of N19 is it allows them to pick a draft where a lot of their players are very comfortable on heroes that will add to the Pei, that will benefit, that will help escort him around, that will try to be able to hold the line. When you take away the Pei, you're kind of forcing them into something like we said. I mean, is there another assassin on the side of N19 that I've seen? I can't even think back. You see, they're kind of resorting. You take away the Pei, and I feel like it forces N19 to kind of resolve into that tankier jungle composition. So I think that's a decent read by Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, now on to the next phase of the banning phase. We do see the Arlie getting picked out on the side of Flash Smilodon. It could be on side of 19 actually. So for Flash Smilodon, they could be looking at to secure the channel. Whether or not it will be available for them in this banning phase, we'll have to see. Getting the sheet kind of suggests to me that they are looking to have some more core jungle picks, like something like the Luna, something like the Jane that requires a lot of farms come online, but is going to be very scary to deal with if you're unable to have a response for it.
I mean, we'll see how it goes here. For me, Flash Smilodon, they have they've got a decent composition when it comes to dealing with Zhongfei, dealing with an Ogren out there, especially having a Shay out there. I don't believe we've seen too many Shays out in this tournament. I do like the amount of AoE that she has, her ability to kind of drag people toward her, to really kind of put them into harm's way during a lot of these fights. And it's almost, I mean, the birth of her abilities is just wide. So it's almost very hard to avoid that first one. And then you force out a lot of spells before we even get to a lot of these objective fights. The only thing for me when it comes to N19's draft is kind of what I was critiquing in the last game. Ogren, he's one of those heroes that you really want to get that good early start with it, be aggressive, be in the enemy's face, getting a lot of those members grouped together so you can suck a lot of health from them as well. If you're just kind of existing, if you're just kind of roaming around and the enemy is not giving you those opportunities to kind of get the farm that you need or get the ganks that you need, you're going to have another game like last time where you're just waiting for Flash Smilodon to get those power-ups, and then they're going to be able to push onto you.
It seems like N19 decided to ban out the Aguro. Maybe their own teammates decided to ban it. Don't go that. We don't want to see it on your side either. We just want it off the map. So Aguro that does get banned out. Leaves open the channel, right? Channel's a great pick up against the Arlie, and there goes channel. They need that late game damage, the late game insurance, especially when you have a utility mage like she that is not so reliable on the damage department. And also the last pick here for Lily, I'm expecting another core assassin, potentially the Jean and Luna, who are both still wide open.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting there too. It's funny that 80 has the Chicha picked up there and Pelican has the Chano. I'm assuming they're going to switch unless they got some deviousness that's going to be happening in that clash and a farm lane. Princess Frost, face I haven't seen in a very long time. Ooh, this is going to be very interesting. When it comes to some of the mage, what we have here, what is going to be able to protect our back line from this Luna? If we continue, well, I mean, either way, Luna or Jing, they both, I want to say, present that same type of effect, being able to get to your backline very quickly, and especially in Jing's favor, that mirror domain that just basically unstoppable damage coming through.
Yeah, but I mean, we even expected the Jing to come out, right, from the draft. So I'm sure that N19 has that expectations in place, but we see in this tournament, most teams don't actually target counter the assassins. They kind of try to rely on having more peel for their team by having a tankier front line. And this game, we do see a tankier front line as well. So we'll have to see how it gets played out by the team as we enter the third game of this 1-1 series.
Yeah, it is a best of 5 tied at 1 apiece. N19M, both Flash Smiley fighting for their survival in the North American Kings Arena. You can see already. Oh, it is. Excuse me. Sorry. It is a best out of 3, not best out of 5. So this is potentially game. This is not potentially. This is game point for both teams.
Well, I mean, well, that just leaves that leaves a lot of changes here for us, Private. Now an invade coming in already at the red buff for the side of Flash Smiley, but Jing does see it really quickly and responds by taking away the red on the opposite side.
Yeah, a great read coming in from Flash Smiley to go ahead and read that out and try to even things out here. Both teams tied up here. Like we said, for me, it's always been, N19 has been one of those things that the biggest problems that they sometimes have is trying to kind of keep up the farms with some of the higher rated teams. Not just that, but keeping those minions pushed once we start getting into a mode where we need to start team fighting. Both these teams kind of jockeying for position right now. I talked about Argrin. I wanted to see a little bit more aggression from him. Now he's going to kind of go into a very lonely and empty jungle here. And what he does next, what his team is going to be able to do next is really going to kind of tell the story of what the rest of this match is really going to play out to.
Yeah, but we see here, right, the Arlie is actually rotating across the map and giving giving Princess Frost the bot lane for now. So she's trying to funnel Arlie across the map, getting as much farm as possible. It's a very interesting strategy we haven't seen too much here in this tournament.
Yeah, it is very interesting to notice that Kevin just kind of like meandering around. They're getting a decent funnel strategy here for them, especially because they're really trying to, especially with having a Jing on the team. Arlie's going to probably be your best bet of being able to counter that. If Jing tries to dive into the back line, Arlie's going to be able to kind of maneuver around that. Now, big engagement coming here on the side of Flash Smiley. No worse for wear on either. Ooh, actually, Fern takes a heap of damage there. Is going to have to escape. Ayaka doing a great job. He's going to stand there in between the enemy and his team. Nobody walks away with a kill or a death at the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, it's pretty right now, even on the gold side as well. Here looking to invade once again in the blue buff.
Yeah, I saw the Conductor of Souls come out just a little early from Ferd, so I'm kind of wondering where that was. I see down goes the blue buff. Now continuing on with the fight, I think we have the Mirror Domain down, and down goes Ferd in his own jungle. They're trying to take down Leo League, and a great take up there by B tier mid, able to reply in kind. They find a kill on to Flash Smiley's jungler as well.
A great trade, right? Both 1-to-1 right now, fighting neck to neck. I also want to point out is a pretty good strategy that they're going for right now, funneling Arlie and also not letting her face up against a direct counter like Chano, right? So she's not going to have as much of an easy time in the laning phase against the Chano. So it's good that she is able to just rotate across the map and kind of get the farm that she needs to come online quicker.
Yeah, but while it was kind of, Pelican takes a lot of damage there, but as it was kind of an even trade 1-for-1 there, you've got a jungler who just got a kill under their belts, and then one of them, on the other side, it was the Clash laner. Jungler really, actually, as I talk about it, 80 just gets eaten up at the bottom lane there by N19. A great play there by Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, you see the photo lane is working, right? Arlie looks pretty fed right now at level 6. I mean, both of these Martins are at level 6 right now. She should be ahead in terms of gold. She is slightly ahead against the Chano, but that could also be because she had that one kill in her pocket.
Yeah, like I mean, it was a great play because they were able to surprise 80 in that bush. I don't think she's too far ahead when it comes to the gold. Ooh, as I said,
Oh my God.
what a freeze coming out from Penguin. Poor 80 just a trolloping back to his lane to try to. All right, now I'm gonna shake off that one kill. I'll be back. Comes into his lane, immediately gets frozen and taken down. N19 with another kill under their belt.
Oh my God, that is like respawning to your own demise, respawning to your death. And Arlie tried to push a little bit further, but a quick response coming in from Jin.
Oh man, this is Penguin. That is so dirty. I don't know if I'd be able to recover from that. But I mean, these are professional players. 80 is going to go ahead and shake things off, get back into the game. But man, what a play there! What a surprise! Now starting to kind of prove his earn his weight here on this Princess Frost pickup. Now trying to go ahead, force a little bit of something here at the mid lane. But now we're still kind of waiting for objectives. Both teams kind of not trying to make a mistake here. You can see them trying to go underneath, trying to get into that blue buff, but you see that Flash Smiley and able to scoop that up. Leoli doing a great job with that smite.
I mean, despite the kill difference, right? We see that gold is even neck to neck for both teams. That just shows you that Flash Myron is able to play the macro game and get the farm that they need. And maybe Jane is doing pretty well in this game.
Yeah, and that's always kind of been the hurdle for N19 is they have, like I said, all these W's. They've got kills on there. They've got some objectives as well, but the gold still stays pretty even. So it's almost like Flash Smileton doesn't even really notice the kills. They're still able to kind of keep that farm up, still trying to get those items. And once it gets to like mid and late game, N19 need to have made some type of progress to where Flash Smileton's kind of on the back foot, where they're not able to really just be so confident in a lot of their pushes.
Yeah, and right now we see a little bit of skirmish happening in the mid lane, but not going to fully commit to that.
Yeah, interesting. Unbridled outburst came out from the side of N19. Oh, and this is what happens when you use that a little too early. Yaka goes down for the counts, and he kind of used that. I was kind of actually wondering where that came from. Maybe he got caught up there at the top between some of those members, tried to use it to disengage, but unfortunately for him, too many members. Ooh, gonna come in here. We do have that mirror domain, and look at all of the damage. That is an Arlie who just got dusted.
Yeah, I mean, Arlie has all the kills in her pocket, right? So that is a meaty Arlie right there. And I almost thought she walked into the right path to her safety. But Jane, when you have Jane and separate it on your lane, you gotta be careful.
Oh yeah, especially when you're out there on your own, and that's kind of the problem that happens here. You've got an Arlie who like, I want to say, will be able to shine when you kind of let them do those split pushing, but at the cost of a Leoli on this Jing who can kind of get around the maneuver on the map very quickly. Two members coming up there forward, trying to pay. They're coming in. Are they going to be able to punish Leoli? Can use a little bit of a dash there. Third, definitely not going to be able to keep up. That's three members of N19. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, B tier mid fighting off three members at his gate.
I mean, look at the escape and the dive in, the mobility that Jane has. We have nothing there to really stop it from just roaming around the map freely.
Ooh, you see now that tower damage started to come out there from the back end. You saw that Leo Lee's going to try to put on some damage. Still not able to really penetrate into that mid towers that would really open up the map for either of these teams. They're going to turn their attention to the Tyrant, and I don't think there's going to be much contention here.
Yeah, there's not going to be, they're not in a position to contest, right? But it does seem like Leoli was targeting straight at the blue buff.
Yeah, they immediately know that they're not going to be able to contest for the Tyrant, so they immediately go into enemy territory, take out some of their buffs, make sure that it does at least cost something to N19. They don't get it for free. They do have to pay for it with a blue buff of their own. But now, up at the top, they're going to go ahead and put some suppressive fire up there, trying to take down another side lane tower.
Yeah, looks like mid though might go down just here with the odd one getting a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, he got absolutely shredded there between 4 members. The B tier mid and the rest of the team. Yaka and Kevin coming in tow here, looking to try to find this fight. You do have a tremor onto the back line of N19. Unbridled Outburst comes out, and that is a roamer down for the side of Flash Smilodin. It might be in a little bit of trouble here trying to protect the bottom lane as well. B tier mid doing a great job clearing out minions, and they, N19, able to
oh my god,
fronted there. Mwaji almost got caught. Another freeze courtesy of Pigwin.
Yeah, Pigwin is doing really well on these really annoying mid laners like the Angela, like the Princess Frost that you see so much in your games, and you can just imagine how they're feeling right now.
On the back end, Mwaji actually gets taken out. Oh, and able to answer back is Leo Lee, down to 10%. Ayaka, the roam with a plan on N19, able to pick up that objective and steal it away from Flash Smilodin.
Yeah, this game N19 has been doing really well in getting these tyrants, getting these overlord, but this one here should go freely into the hands of Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, they answer back very quickly, able to pick that up without much haste there. See Kevin here kind of waiting for his opportunity. Not sure if he's going to be able to surprise Pelican. Does come in here, looks onto the side. Look at the damage coming out there, and Kevin escapes like a thief in the night.
Yeah, I mean, Jane was not in a position to kind of support him, right? He kind of saw, but between the blue buff and saving his teammate, the blue might be more important.
Well, I mean, he was still able to go ahead and put a kill under his belt. Right now, the kills, when it comes to the gold, 6-5 when it comes to the kills, but the gold is a little bit in favor of Flash Smilodin, starting to eke away with about a 2K gold lead.
Yeah, you see Ashley at 19 doing really well in some of the objective plays and getting the kills and winning team fights, but unfortunately the macro game is just they're not able to kind of have a great economy in comparison with the enemy, and we've seen that pattern repeat itself throughout their series.
Yeah, now they're starting to compete with overlords coming and crashing down in all of their lanes. They're going to have to deal with, oh, we can see up at top lane too, a big group of Flash Smilodin. Ooh, B tier mid might be caught there. They do have a Yaka down there as well. Pigwin going to try to throw out some abilities, but it does not protect their tower. And slowly but surely, as we've crossed that 10-minute threshold, Flash Smilodin have been inching their way closer and closer into N19's gates.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right now at level 15, a channel should be coming online, and here another clash happening in the jungle.
Yeah, Yaka does take a brunt of that damage as he's supposed to, staying in front. A great job by N19 when it comes to their movement, when it comes to making sure their spacing is correct. Yaka's in the front. He's going to take the biggest of a lot of those abilities, allow the rest of his team to kind of sit in the back and provide that firepower. As you can see, Kevin working his way through the jungle, continually trying to farm, continually trying to get the gold he needs so he can continue to be that firepower for his team.
Yeah, but for the side of Flash Smilodon, right, they need to have the channel come online. 80 needs to have his items and actually make an impact in the team fight, because as we get into late game, he will be the main source of damage for the side of Flash Smilodon.
Yeah, you can see there the last 3 objectives, including all of the gold. Ooh, B tier mid in trouble. Going to use that flash to get himself out of harm's way. Unbridled Outburst lands on the 2 members, but the rest of N19 not in a position to capitalize on that. They're going to turn their attention back to the mid lane, try to open up this jungle a little bit for their side, but you can see Leo Lee does a great job of clearing that out.
Yeah, I mean, Leo Lee has had a pretty great game throughout. Despite 80 being put in a back foot in the early game, still his team is still have an advantage at a 4K gold ahead of N19, right?
Yeah, N19 kind of fighting on their back foot. They continually get pushed. They continually lose objectives here. The noose is tightening around them. If they cannot find a good fight, if they cannot find somebody outside to kind of really take advantage of all of this gold that Kevin has been accumulating here, they're about to have a bad game here. You can see now they're in a great position, clearing out, pushing minions, and they're going to be able to turn their attention to that Overlord without much of a fight coming from N19.
Yeah, but at this point in the game, right, it's already the 14-minute mark. 80 should have his items, so as one successful team fight can turn this tide around.
Look at the positioning right now from the back end now. Kevin able to come in, put on the damage, takes down 2 members. Is that going to be enough? Another one down for the count. Resurrection is out, but Jing down, Mwaji down. I was just about to say, look at the positioning of Kevin on that back line as N19 turned this around, immediately pushing back Flash Smilodin right into their gold laner, their farm laner, who was able to absolutely blast them down. Pelican in a bad way here. Kevin with another kill under his belt.
Kevin is bringing on the monstrous mode, right? If we have to pick 2 star players from this side of the 19, it's definitely gotta be Kevin taking the lead in the farm lane as well as Pigwin. We see them pair up pretty well with each other as well this game, and that is the winning force that's in their team.
Well, and yeah, as you can see from the stats here too, B tier mid is really kind of holding up that front line, able to kind of dash himself to get to that back line, really able to punish the Mwaji, punish 80 to make them back up to where they're not as much as a threat. And just like that, as we were talking about the macro, the forcing, the confidence on the board, N19 have swung this around. Shadow Overlords now looming in each lane, about to crash into the towers of Flash Smilodin, and N19 in a very, very comfortable position.
Yeah, they just gotta wait for the alliance to sink and kind of crash down all across the inhibitor towers, and that might be the push that they need to close this game off.
Oh, you see a little bit of damage there, but Flash Smilodin makes short work of those Overlord minions in the lanes. And actually, even at the bottom, able to push out the lane there. So great job by Flash Smilodin to be able to kind of split up their resources, make sure that they can be able to protect these high ground towers.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the back foot right now, right? Gold is pretty even, but here, oh my goodness, that early.
Oh, big tremor comes in there, and down goes the Chica. Another kill there for B tier mid, as the rest of N19 pushing into the base of a Flash Smilodin. They're going to try to take down this tower without the minion there. Great rotation when it came to that tower aggro and diving underneath the tower. Unfortunately, only 3 members left for Flash Smilodin. Deep into the back line goes N19, trying to find themselves a kill, trying to find themselves a close to this game, and they do. That is going to be N19 moving forward.
Wow, what a great game played by both teams. I mean, the difference between an average Arlie and a God tier Arlie is massive. And Kevin has proved that he's not only a God tier Arlie, he's also an S tier God tier farm lane. Congratulations for N19.
Yeah, a great handoff there. Pigwin and B tier mid, great supporting characters when it came to being able to get their own kills and even being able to kind of add in with those freezes, that suppression coming from Pigwin on the Princess Frost as well. A great turnaround there too. Just the positioning of Kevin. I noticed it right away. He was behind the lines. I'm like, is he waiting to catch somebody from N19 rotating back? Or not from N19, from Flash Smilodin rotating back again, because he did that twice already. So he was just in a great position. Honestly, you're absolutely right. This was like an Arlie game. Like you saw right from the beginning. Kevin moving from lane to lane, getting all the farm that he can, immediately gets the first blood, and basically, I want to say, carried the game on his back. A big shout outs to B tier mid, also able to get 5 kills out there on the board as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in these 2 days matches, right? Kevin is really putting the weight of N19 on his shoulders and thriving under pressure, even when they were facing up against BYL. And today, the funnel early strategy was rewarding indeed, and N19 secures the victory and moves forward to face up against the champions BYL once again.
Yeah, a great game there, but let's go ahead and take a look at where we are. N19 with that best of 3 going to move forward to the grand finals against BYL.
Yeah, we've seen this matchup for now the 3rd time in a row. We've seen it last week on day 2. We've seen it yesterday up against BYL, bringing the series to the distance. And today they have one more chance to take down their arch nemesis, BYL.
Yeah, and here is what it's all about. The grand finals, first place going to be walking away with $2,000, but bigger than that, going to be named the kings of the arena in the inaugural NAKA tournament.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins in this series will be the first kings of the North America Kings Arena. Very exciting series coming up. I mean, yesterday when we talked to Joe Wishin, from BYL, he was talking about how they are 80% or 70% confident in securing this in their pocket. So we'll have to see if he matched his confidence today with the performance.
That number might change every single time we mention it. I'm going to say he was about 60% confident in his ability there. But as we take a look at the schedule, we just got done with our best of 3 in the lower bracket. N19 successful and moving forward. Up next, though, what a lot of people are waiting to sink their teeth into. It's the BTK show match of the new mode, the Super Flow Brawl mode.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. I'm actually very, very excited for this series in particular, almost more excited about this show match than the grand finals, right? We really get to see the Super Flow Brawl mode come to life in front of our eyes in this tournament. It's gonna be something that we need to light up the mood and bring some joy to this show. It's going to be very exciting to watch, and make sure you guys as well go home and try it on your phones. Try it, the new mode. It's really fun. You get to experience the max potential of all these heroes that you like to play. So it's going to be very fun to watch and fun to play.
Yeah, and not just that, but there's an event going on now, so you can go ahead and get yourself some skins, get yourself some of those dragon coins as well, to go ahead and fill out, do all the different things that you can do in that mode to try to mix up all the different talents and items that you like.
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting now. Everyone, today's match, we got something very special for you. So make sure you still tune in after a short break. Get your waters in, and we'll see you in a bit.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire. always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire. Yes, a man will always admire.
What happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
He is a legend.
Yes, a man will always admire.
in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire.
And we are back, everyone. Today is the grand finals day of the NAKA Season 1. I'm your captor, Liz, alongside Private Answer.
Yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a very special match indeed for you guys. Like we've been talking about, there is a very special new mode out there for you guys to compete here in with Honor of Kings. But before that, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. As you know, we started things off with the losers final, a best of 3 between Flash Smilodon and N19. Unfortunately, Flash Smilodon sent packing home early as N19 progress, and they will meet their opponents BYL at the end of this broadcast. But coming up next, it will be the BTK show match in the newest mode of Honor of Kings, the Super Flow Brawl mode.
Yeah, the Super Flow Brawl mode brought to us by our very own Bloodthirsty Kings of North America versus the NAKA Champions. So we'll have some players across the teams from the NAKA tournament playing against BTK. So it's going to be a very exciting. Now, for everyone out there, so many exciting things happening in game right now. The Super Brawl Flow mode is Super Flow Brawl mode is now available in the game, so make sure you also complete your tasks in game and try this new mode out. Drop a comment, let us know what you like about this mode, what skill sets you like to play, and what heroes you like to play in this mode. So with that being said, also the Ultraman collab is available in game. So jump into the game and make sure you try to see your luck and unlock one of the Ultraman Mozi skin. But right now, the Menti skin will be available on March 18th for free. So make sure you play the game on March 18th because you don't want to miss out on this OP collab and OP skin.
So much going on here. New modes, new skins. We even talked about it. The SNK event is back in live even this week. So I'm going to be very busy trying to collect my own skins as well. But on to our next competition. Let's take a look at the roster for BTK.
Yeah, for the side of BTK, we have Fried Chicken on the Clash lane, Zero on the jungle, Hoon in the mid lane, Seika on support, and Mobazane on the farm lane.
But their opponents, the best and brightest of the North American Kings Arena, we're going to take a look at their roster that will be going up against BTK. It will be Lost in the Clash lane, 27 bringing up the jungle lane. In the mid lane will be Mwaji. The roam position will be taken up by Kevin, and the farm lane taken up by Immortals. And warming the bench, maybe looking for a spot to squeeze in there, will be Forever.
Yeah, these names, both of these sides, the names are very familiar to us already at this point. We've seen how Mwaji and Kevin popped off for their team today and throughout this tournament. And also bringing back the fan favorites, BTK. You know, we want to see how they are performing now, not for a very serious match out, but for this new and fun, exciting mode. Now with that, the draft is ready. So let's see what the players have in store for us.
Like we said, this is a brand new mode. So some of the same heroes that you've seen before, but with the added intensity that these are going to be a lot more intense matches. Levels 1, 5, 10, and 15. You also get these special talents, everything ranging from cooldown speed to more damage and things like that. So it really is on you how you're going to build your character into this monster that hopefully will be able to demolish your opponents.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that you can try out your favorite heroes, right? We see Zane getting his Laura pick. I mean, we know how much he loves the Laura ever since his China trip. And also Laura in normal mode right now has a buff, right? So the scaling potential for Laura has been improved. So it's very exciting to see some of these heroes come back into live in front of us, and especially with all the buffs that they have, right? So I'm very excited for this matchup. I hope the teams have a lot of fun, and I hope the viewers also enjoy what they're seeing.
Yeah, like we said, it's a much more intensive, much quicker match styles than you've probably seen here, especially with the last few, but let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah, we are in this Bora mode already. We see quick pace picked up by Lost and Random Talents for the side of BYO.
Yeah, and you can go ahead and take a look. We do see that, I think we might actually get an Ultraman on the side of BTK. You can see Saka there does have the Motzi, so they're going to go ahead and start off with a stun. A big presence here at the mid lane. A Blankman doing the best he can to kind of offset a lot of this damage coming in here at the mid.
Yeah, and we see that Hoon is on the Diao Chan. He really likes playing this hero, right? But we see Diao Chan actually on both sides. So this is looking very interesting. Already a kill in the top lane.
Yeah, Fly Chicken gets a surprise at the top. Lost on that Baichi, able to find himself a first blood for Team NAKA.
Yeah, I mean, Diao Chan is actually picked out a lot in this mode, right? In the Chinese server, because she has so much dash potential in this version. So if you haven't tried it already, you should definitely pick it out for yourself and give it a try.
Yeah, you can see right now that up at the top, looking for a little bit of an angle of attack there. Not able to find it is a Blankman. Zero coming in from the side. He's going to go ahead and try to support that bottom lane. Ooh, but we have a double. They're just all over Fly Chicken right now. Cannot get a moment's rest. Speaking of which, we do have an ultimate coming out here. Mirror Domain is out, and down goes Kevin. A big pickup there for Zero.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see Zero come back into this tournament, but we saw how well he was able to play that Jing when he was part of DJB, and now seeing Jing in this crazy mode is just so exhilarating.
Yeah, just like we were talking about, you can see level 5s on the board already, and a big amount of dashing coming down there, probably with the cooldown out there as well. Able to finally find himself a little bit of an escape. Waji running for the hill, zigzagging back and forth. It does not save him. Down he goes alongside Blankman. A third one down. 27 tried to come in, try to help out, but ended up eating some damage himself. We were talking about it before. Those levels 5 are going to give you some talents that you can use, either speed, damage. There's a big pool of different things that you can use.
Yeah, we can see already speed, damage all coming online for both of these teams. And if you're not careful, you're walking into your own coffin, just like what 27 did there.
Yeah, you can see 1 to 4 already. BTK pressing the dominance here onto these members. Hoon trying to move a little bit forward on that Dao Chan, looking to possibly throw down another ult. It's just the battle of the Dao Chans. You see the ultimates down there already. Hoon trying to lay some abilities out there, but just measuring them out enough. Mwaji on the back end, joined here very quickly by 27, who gets wiped off the map. And look at that. That is Zero coming in with a heap of damage.
I mean, honestly, Mwaji is doing God's work with that Diao Chan. 1 versus 2, but ultimately does get taken down with the help of Zero on the side of Hoon. But I'm excited to see just 1v1 right now.
Yeah, Chicken is all over Lost. Lost can't even see what direction he's coming from right now. Trying to pay him back for that earlier first blood he was able to score from him. You can see here Hoon back on the ground again, does have that ultimate down, so he's going to have lower cooldowns on a lot of his dashing abilities. And again, 27 surprised from the rear as we have a Mirror Domain laid on the ground. Damage going all over the rest of the NAKA champions as they are getting eaten alive. Down goes Saka.
I mean, if you think Jing is crazy in normal mode, you should see Jing here in the Super Flow Brawl mode. I mean, she is on fire, just dashing around in that mirror domain, but still needs her blue buff.
Speaking of talents, you can see already Lost something a little different about him. He's getting a little taller there. You can see he's almost at the height of the tower. So he's trying to kind of keep up that giantism. I think that was one of the spriteling buffs that you get there as well. So you mix that in with these talents and you've just got basically a whole new game that you're playing here.
I mean, this mode is already itself a whole new game that we're playing. It's so fun for, especially if you're just playing casually, right?
Yeah, you can see the excitement here already. A big freeze comes down there, and that's going to be Lost taken down for the count. Kevin tried to run for the tower, not able to find it there. 27 trying to do not cross this line, but immediately getting eaten and chunked down. That is going to be Hoon picking up another kill.
Yeah, I mean, Hoon is having fun on this Diao-chan, right? He doesn't get picked out as much in the mid lane anymore, so this is your chance to play it out if you're a Diao-chan mid.
Yeah, but take a look at him on this Diao-chan, dashing and dashing, especially with that ultimate laid down there. There's not much too many people could do. Look at the regen on that and the shield that he is collecting, probably and most likely due to a lot of the talents he is using on the Diao-chan.
Yeah, and already at the 5-minute mark and dropping down into the crystal, just so much regen, so much dashiness.
He's just dashing all over the place. He had like 5% health left and he was still dashing back and forth. Nobody could touch him on there.
Yeah, nobody could touch him. No fear gaming. This is the mode you want to try if you just want to have fun with your friends, right? This is incredible gameplay, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fly Chicken tries to go in, coming in from different directions, trying to take down his opponents. Blankman running for the hills, 27 trying to get away. He's not going to be able to find the distance. Gets taken down alongside his team member. 3 down for the NAKA team, and BTK pushing into the tower. That is a complete team wipe, as you can see Hoon and Zane here reigning supreme and raining down damage as well.
Yeah, you like when you see the ace pop up on screen, right? And that just might be it. That might be all they need to close off this game. Congratulations to BTK and in claiming victorious against NAKA Champs.
The speed in which that Diao-chan was able to dash back and forth, I would have been calling up some developers, be like, bro, all right, this right here is a broken hero. And that's just the value you get with some of the talents that you can mix in with some of these heroes. So good game to both teams, but BTK really showing what it's worth in this new mode.
Yeah, I mean, they're eager to get their foot back into the scene, and this is the perfect mode to play. And for all the viewers out there watching, I hope that game just shows you how fun this mode is. So make sure you try it out yourselves in game with your friends. It's a great way to start and to enjoy this game.
Yeah, it was very fast, very fun, especially sometimes you don't have enough time to go into ranked. And you know what? Sometimes you don't have enough mental fortitude for that. I mean, you don't want to have the strain of it. You just want to have a little fun, just kind of mix things together, try to be that monster in your lane. You saw there was about a 5-minute, maybe 6-minute game there that they had, but very exciting to play, very fast paced as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am eager to myself try out some of my favorite heroes in game. In this mode, it's definitely a great way to spend some time playing with your friends in this game. So very, very exciting. And now, for all the viewers watching at home, we have a special giveaway for you. On the screen, you should see, once again, a lot of codes. So this is actually a permanent epic skin. Now make sure you take a little screenshot, have these code ready. Each code will give you one chance to win the skin, so first come first serve. Make sure you have your luck in your hands and potentially jot these down and try these out, because you could potentially unlock multiple skins.
Yeah, it's a permanent epic skin that you will be getting there. Start from the middle, start from the top, start from the bottom. One of those to grab you one of those codes.
Yeah, start from the bottom. Now we're here. If you're lucky, you might be able to secure multiple skins. We know the skins inside of Honor of Kings is just immaculate, especially epic skins. Now, I would get my hands on some of these epic skins, but now these skins are all for you guys, so make sure you don't miss out.
Yeah, very exciting there. Always trying to give back there, you guys. We've had multiple opportunities for you guys to get skins, not just for these players, not just for the competitors here, but for you guys as well. And what better time, especially because of the skins that are out right now. So a great opportunity for all of the viewers.
Yeah, and now we are waiting for an interview with Hoon, who secured an MVP for himself with that Del Chan. I mean, we saw the amount of dashes that he was bringing on and the flashiness, and also that was a pretty skin that he was wearing there.
Yeah, I see all of the chat pretty much lighting up, calling Hoon a hacker on that Dao Chan. I mean, that is pretty much what everybody hopes that they could do on a Dao Chan, but he just kind of unleashed it on the NAKA.
Hello?
Welcome, Hoon. Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes. How are you?
We're doing great. We had a lot of fun watching you guys play that show match just now. For you, why did you pick Dao Chan? Was there some thinking behind it?
I mean, it's unbalanced. It's like the god of that mode right now. If you don't pick it, you will lose.
That's true. I mean, we see Dao Chan on both sides, right? So for Dao Chan, what skill kit did you actually choose, and why did you choose it?
So you have to basically roll. Like the first argument, it doesn't matter, but then the second and third, you need to choose the yellow one, the one with the thumbs up. Then you can limit the dashes. Like obviously, Nunu didn't know that. He did not pick that AUG, so he got stomped. You know, just skill gap.
Skill gap. I mean, we saw you taken down pretty low in early game up against the other Dao Chan, but ultimately, I mean, you picked up the right ones. Is there you recommended? Do you think it's luck has a play into it? Like the what you get, the augment.
Basically, yeah, 50-50. Yep.
I know you were talking about that Dao Chan's pretty much the broken one. You've had an opportunity. We've seen you streaming some of this new mode. Do you have other characters that maybe, even if they're not the strongest, probably maybe something that's you have found very fun in this mode to play?
Dr. Bian was insane. Unlimited healing. I just watched Zero playing Jing. I think it's pretty good. Anything with dash is insane, basically, because you have unlimited cooldown. Anything you name it, Levi, Yao, Jing, Luna, Hanshin.
Yeah, as he's speaking, I'm jotting these down for when I try out this mode. I don't know if I can play Yao though, or Levi, but definitely would give Dr. Bien a try. And also, I want to know, like, when you guys were coming up with picking with your lineup, what was going on in the chat? Why did the other teammates pick the heroes that they did?
Coach Gap. I coached them what to pick because I practiced yesterday.
Okay, I see. Did you where did the Luara pick actually come from?
That's just MOBA thing. Can't coach that guy.
That's hard to coach. Now you've kind of played up against some of these players. We know coming up next will be BYL versus N19. What's your prediction for the grand finals?
Is it best of 5 or 7?
Yes. Best of 5.
3-1.
In favor of?
BYL, because they have B in their name. BTK, BYL, you know?
Oh, it's just science.
I mean, that is just science. That is, so BYL 3-2-1. Let's see if Hoon is as skilled at predictions as he is with that Dao Chan. So thank you for joining us in the interview. Anything else you want to say to any of the teams or viewers watching?
Buy the new Mozi skin. It's on sale.
Did you get it?
Yep, I'm not using it though, because of the until they fix the sound. It's a good skin. Just gotta fix the second skill sound, please.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they heard you.
I got the skin. I just cannot use it because of the sound. That's it.
Or maybe you just need to pair up with a godly marksman, so you would actually want to go roam for them.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. That was a very fun series that we watched. A very light-hearted match against the NAKA Champs, as they will now be preparing for their grand finals best out of 5 series against N19.
Yeah, it's a very exciting match to watch there and very fun, as you guys saw. So make sure you check out the new mode, the Super Flow Brawl mode there. You saw matches about 5 minutes. Who doesn't have 5 minutes to go ahead and mess around, especially with all the different heroes that you can combine and make with different talents there. But without further ado, let's take a look at what is up next.
Yeah, looking at the tournament schedule, today will unfortunately be the last day of the NAKA Season 1 tournament. We saw Flash Maidon versus N19, with N19 taking it all the way home 2-1 up against FS, now bringing them into the grand finals match up against BYL. Once again, something we've seen in the past 2 weeks, and now one last chance against the reigning champs.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One final opportunity here for N19 to step up to the plate to take on BYL here. You can see their first place. This is what they are competing for. $2,000 here for first place. BYL have already run through the first 3 weeks of this competition, collecting $1,000 after $1,000 after $1,000, competing and being the top each of those weeks. Here, a final opportunity for N19 to dethrone those kings of the arena.
Yeah, I mean, so far, BYL looking pretty strong. They've shown us, they proved to us with their consistent performance, consistent domination across the NAKA tournaments, that right now they are the kings of the arena. But I mean, if they actually win this, they're looking at $5,000 in their pocket and a lot of diamonds. That means that everyone on this team probably has for themselves all of that tokens. Everyone on this team probably has a Mozi skin.
Yeah, Mozi skin. We've got the SNK skins out there. That beautiful Mai Shiranui skin as well. So, but that will happen in just a few moments.
Yeah, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with you just in a bit.
Grandpa, what happened in the monkey story?
Anoman. Yes, he made a promise to bring Cinta home.
Was he lucky?
He got caught, and flames rose. A huge fire. others admire.
And we are here, the moment we've all been waiting for, the grand finals match for NAKA Season 1. I'm your caster Liz alongside Private Dancer.
That's right. This is what it has all led down to, the final best of 5 series between the top in North America.
Yeah, this is the final moment to drive it all home, right? But before that, for everyone watching at home, we have some very exciting new things in-game. The Ultraman / HoK collab is ready and available in-game, so make sure you go into the game and test your luck to see if you can unlock the Ultraman Mozu skin. And cherry on top, the Menki skin is completely free and ready and available in-game on March 18th, so make sure you mark in your calendars and don't miss out. It's for free, so make sure you get it. And Super Flow Bra mode is now available in-game. We saw the show match that just happened where BTK dominated, especially with the Diao-chan, who apparently is pretty broken right now in-game. So make sure you try out this new mode, complete your task, and comment down below what's your favorite hero in this mode and what's your favorite skill sets that you want to use on the hero. So make sure you give it a try and have some fun with your friends in-game.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can compete for there and events there for that Super Brawl mode as well. And maybe you might go ahead and find a hero that is broken while you're playing.
Yeah, I mean, some tips we heard from Hoon just now. Dr. Bien, Li Bai Yao, all heroes with dashes as well are really OP right now in this mode. So make sure you give that a try. There's so many options that you can go for. CDR, more damage, more gold. Very exciting. Now, going back to the grand finals. Two teams in store for us, N19 versus BYL, the ultimate showdown between them. First team on that we see here, BYL in the Clash Lane Duition, in the Jungle 27, in the mid lane Ice, in Roam is Xuan, in the farm lane will be Ching.
Yes, but walking in store as their opponents, N19, we've seen this clash before. B tier mid in the Clash lane, jungler being brought up by Fred. In the mid lane will be Pigwin, roam position brought up by Ayaka, and finally in the farm, Kevin.
Yeah, we've seen how dominating Kevin and Pigwin is in their respective roles and carrying their team on their shoulders and bringing N19 on a roll today. They are on fire. They have the momentum. Will it be enough to take down the reigning champs right now, BYL?
Yeah, this is not going to be the first time that both of these teams have met, but as far as the first season of the NAKA tournament is concerned, it will be the final time. Will N19 be able to finally realize their dreams of dethroning BYL? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, they have one last chance as we go into the draft for the first game of this series. Do they have the strategy that they need to take down BYL?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see them start off with a Zhongfei and an Arlie ban on the BYL side. That's going to leave them time to go ahead and scoop up Flowborn Tank. They're going to be able to pick up the farm lane Lung as well.
Yeah, we do see the Long getting picked out. Long was doing so well yesterday for whichever team that has it. He has so much potential, especially when you are able to go different builds, right? You can go with the normal crit build, but if you have a lot of damage dealer on your side, you can also build more of a semi-tank to provide more sustain for yourself. And on the side of N19, we do see a Nuwa getting picked out again. We see Pigwin on the Nuwa. We know how strong he is, and paired up with the Dahlia, provides so much potential as well.
Yeah, very interesting here. We're going to have the Dune and Dolia combination, that double D of Doom that you've seen out there. Kind of I don't want to call it a cheesy build, but it's just two characters that really play into each other's ability. Dolia able to give that ultimate to reset that cooldown for Dune so that he can be even tankier when he's diving into the fray there. We're going to see if they're going to be able to be successful with this against BYL, who seem to be going with a tankier composition of their own.
Yeah, I mean, we see them going with the recipe, following it carefully. Whether or not they're able to execute it and up against something like BYL, we'll have to find out. Now, getting that Fuzi banned out again, we know B tier mid is thriving on the Fuzi, so that will not be available for him once again this match.
Yeah, as we move on, Pei is taken off the board by N19. Futsa, we've been talking about this. B tier mid has been one of those last weeks that had a little bit of issues that BYL was able to really kind of iron into and exploit. Here, N19, I feel, have really done a great job of kind of identifying that weakness and being able to do great things with it now. This week, we haven't seen I want to say, the lack of communication. It just seems like everybody is on the same page. B tier mid has been a vital role of the success of N19, getting them to this point as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's providing the consistency that allows Pigwin and B tier and Kevin to pop off and showcase their own skill and do damage into the back lines, right? And also, I would say B tier mid in the previous week was going a little tilt mode. So this week he hasn't had as much struggle. So it's really about the mental game when you're at this caliber in this part of the tournament.
Very interesting. You see that Lady Shen and Shay taken off the board that by the side of N19 because you've got this heavy engaged type of composition. You want to take off those mages that have that big AoE, that have that big CC that can slow you or even pull you away from your team there. But it does look like they were BYL were kind of hovering on options that they wanted to go. I saw Zhao Chao kind of being dabbled there about if you want AoE, if you want a big burst of damage that you can spread onto there, she would have been a good choice, but at least seems like they're going to go ahead and settle with something a little bit more prioritizing in the pick for the XP or for the Clash lane.
Yeah, I mean, Chicha is very a prio pick, definitely. On the side of N19, they already have their mage picked out, so it's not as priority right now. Dachel, I would say they're missing some damage on the side of BYL. They have the Long for the late game insurance, but they also need something else, right? They right now is just one core in their side. Ogren kind of falls off towards the late game, so having a Dachel, I would say, is missing a little bit on the damage department, but we did see Xiao potentially being an option for them. Also, the Dynamo is a potential option, so we'll have to see what they actually land on. Xiao Chao, though, does provide a lot of macro and playmaking potential, especially when you can just keep on teleporting back to your own base, so it also helps you with the early game laning phase as well. So it does look like Dachao is what they decided on. Very exciting as we move on for the first game of the series.
Yeah, very excited to see where we go with these compositions. Both pretty tanky, but I want to say when it comes, you've got the resetting ability there on N19 and on the side of BYL. The Zhao Chao really brings a threat when it comes to that split pushing ability. You see her there in one lane in 1 second, and then the next you have the entire team able to maybe push a tower or even get a gank against an unsuspecting opponent.
Yeah, Xiao Chao is what they decided to land on. They do have everything ready for them. Both sides have a great recipe that they're bringing in to us. How they actually cook it, we'll have to see as we continue on this time in this first series. I mean, we have a lot of expectations in store, right? We noticed some mistakes coming in from N19 yesterday. Are they able to kind of fix that up and play a more macro-oriented game this time? We'll see as we begin the first game of the series.
This is it, the grand finals, the first game of a best of 5. N19's points to prove that they can take down BYL. One thing that we've been talking about and we've been stretching over the last week is how precise BYL is with their macro, pushing lanes, making sure that minions are always crashing at the gate, even when engagements are coming in the late game. It's something that's really held them forward, especially when N19 has had a lot of issues being able to compete to get a lot of these engagements, to stop some of these threats in those side lanes all the time, 24/7. And even the one time that BYL slipped, they found themselves losing the game because of a lane that went awry through the mid lane. You had Kevin able to sneak through the mid lane to find himself a quick win over BYL.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, right, for the side of N19, they are looking at more of a late game composition. Concert U is definitely a late game marksman, but she's also pretty well on her own doing solo. She has that immunity in her second skill, right? So she counters actually Lone really well in this lane. Now we do see both roamers rotating down into the bot lane.
Yeah, and you can see they're already at the bottom lane, Clash lane. They were already having a little bit of problems on the side of N19 dealing with the suppressive power of Ice on that Dachau. Like, I mean, you keep on seeing the pop-ups and the pop-ups, and they were whittling down Kevin to the point that he might actually have to go home a little bit early. And when it comes to the early game, having to rotate away, missing minions can be super detrimental to the synergy for your team in this early game. You see there, oh, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that the pig, those pig positions were picked up by N19 though.
Yeah, but for the side of BYL, right, they want to kind of end this game somewhat early to mid to late game is when they want to close this off. They don't want to see Conquer You in the late game. Also the Nuwa when they're lacking some damage from Dachel, but they have the advantage of the playmaking potential and the support and the amount of crowd control that Dachel brings. So they have to kind of rotate around the map and make these plays in order to get to that point.
Yeah, interesting thing to see too is last time I saw N19, I believe they were using HoK on their team when they had this Dune and Dolia combination, because as soon as that Burning Sun arrow landed and was able to stun the enemy, Dune was able to go with that Unruly Blade, stun them again, and just absolutely wipe the floor. Here, I don't think we have that same type of initiation from the side of them. You have the Unruly Blade, but you're going to have to really be clinical about using it. Dolia will be able to reset that cooldown, so he'll be able to cover a lot of distance. But if you're using like that double Unruly Blade, you're really dashing twice deep into enemy territory, and you're putting a lot of pressure on your team to close the distance and help surprise the team with you.
Yeah, and right now a little bit of, you see a very flashy skills coming from both sides in the mid lane for BYL, right? They need something towards the late game to close the distance and actually get to Conquer, which is not very mobile. Now, for all the viewers watching at home, we have a little giveaway here on screen. You'll see 100 Dragon Crystals. This is just one code, right? So it's a lot easier to jot down. Make sure you get this code, put it in your phone, and have yourself 100 Dragon Crystals.
Ooh, now that we have the first Tyrant out on the board at the 4-minute mark, both teams vying for a position there on getting surrounded now. N19 doing a good job at the flank. Annihilation Laser out there chunking down into BYL. Do you see the Tremor Smash coming down? Lands onto 3 members of N19. He's going to have to use that flash to get away, but on the back end, you see the farm lane going down here. 27 might have bit off a little bit more. As I say that, I say he was about to bit off a little bit more than he could chew, but he exactly goes ahead and gets a ton of that health regen right back. Ferd going over the bush. Ching, thief in the night, quiet as ever. Oh, but he knows he's in there. Looks like Ferd actually read the situation there perfectly. Able to walk past, but not able to find the kill. This is going to use this to be able to scoop up his golem.
Yeah, but he had the escape path ready, right? So he was able to actually get away out of harm's way. Now the Tyrant is reset. Neither team were able to grab it. Looking at the gold, though, it does seem like BYL is still standing slightly ahead.
Yeah, you can see the Venomous Staff has already been picked up by the side of N19, but Blazing K picked up on the side for 27 of BYL. So both teams kind of competing with their anti-heal right now. But when it comes to this Tyrant, almost stolen there by Big Win, but BYL with a very successful smite able to take down the Tyrant.
Yeah, it was worth a shot, right? Worth a try, but ultimately you do need that spy to secure these objectives. And now bot lane tower taken down.
Yeah, off screen up at the top, Wishing got double teamed up at the top by, I believe it was B tier mid and Ferd. So they were able to go ahead, press into this tower and possibly find themselves a tower of their own. And just like that, as I say, a tower already doubling their efforts. BYL doing a great job of going ahead and scooping up a tier 2 tower.
I mean, that's already pushing all the way to the high ground, right? That is going to open up the map a lot for the side of BYL.
And this is just exactly what we were talking about when it comes to like stamina and being able to get these macro. As hard as N19 can push, it always seems like BYL is just always a step, just a little bit better there to be able to do just a tiny bit more. Swan competing here right now with Ferd as well. Unruly Blade is out onto them. Is he going to be able to find that onto Ching? He's not going to be able to finish the job. The rest of BYL giving chase, but not able to find a kill on the other side of that. Oh, actually, Ayaka got taken off out of nowhere, taken down. It is now 1-2 right now as BYL pushing onto the core, or at least onto the high grounds of N19.
I mean, that is faster than what we have imagined, right? Right now, it's only looking at the 7-minute mark, and already so much control across the map. Dominating the map is BYL.
Yeah, and they're just doing a great job right now. You can see as the gold's starting to inch. This is something we were talking about when it comes to facing a team like BYL. Macro, gold, pushing lanes always have to be on your mind. Even when you're getting kills on them, even when you're getting objectives on them, they just have such an immense amount and ability to be able to farm, to get these pushes, and to keep the advantage so that when you get to that 10-minute mark or you get to that 12-minute mark, the power spikes that you're facing from them can be almost overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how long some of these games can be dragged out with yesterday's matches. Some of these games between the two teams ended up being 25 minutes, and you don't want to go 25 minutes against a composition like N19.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Kevin right now, I mean, I don't think we've seen too many games with Consort U, but I don't really feel like we're seeing the effect that we wanted to. You do have a little bit of a stun, some damage that can pierce through a lot of enemies there with the Consort U, but we're just not really seeing the effect, I think, or at least being as effective as I've seen Kevin in past games on other picks. Ooh, a nice little annihilation laser coming out there. Does take a chunk out of Ice, who goes ahead back to the safety of his tower.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Consort U is a lack of consistent mobility, not having a dash or blink, something to get her out of harm's way. So, and we've seen how well Kevin actually does on something like the Arlie, who allows him to make plays. But here, having Consort U kind of limits his abilities in that aspect.
Ooh, yeah, you can see them already trying to push into enemy territory of N19. They are going to back off a little just because they wanted that buff. So already they kind of own the jungle of N19, and there's not much that they're able to do. Ferd trying his best to be the front liner here, but the damage he's taken, you can see there, 27 with a little bit of a swipe of his own. Ooh, might go in there, might have found out somebody there. Do have on the back end, B tier mid actually gets chunked down to 25%. So right now, BYL in a good position as they are up about 3K gold on N9. Oh man, I was about to say they flanked very quickly onto them. B tier mid goes in, annihilation laser does catch Schwan, but no, not a huge amount of damage done there. Down to about 1/3 health with these Overlord minions beginning to fly towards the base.
Yeah, we do know that Pigwin has high precision and accuracy on her spell abilities, but unfortunately, Nuwa does need some items to really do immense amount of damage and shred down the health bars, and now she does not have the items yet.
The very interesting thing that I noticed immediately is we don't see that barrage of emergence teleports coming out from Pigwin, who last time he was very free, very comfortable to kind of land in the middle of the team to kind of do that damage. Here, I think he knows a little better. He knows BYL will punish him if he uses that very willy-nilly. And I want to say too, BYL have not really provided a lot of opportunities for him to find somebody who's getting low, to find somebody who's made the mistake of maybe reaching out a little bit too far. You see here a big clash happening in N19 jungle. Not sure who was able to pick up that blue buff. It looks like it was 27 again, able to pick it up. So N19 starving for a buff. Oh no, he was actually able to. So Ferd, congratulations, able to get his own buff, especially in that foray. So good news for him as they continue to get this pressure mounted on them. A 3K gold lead for BYL.
Yeah, I want to talk about yesterday. We had a conversation with Jewishing Ray. For him, the most important thing is to have the communication, and that they're showing with their consistent coordination.
Yeah, speaking of coordination, or B tier mid gonna have to use those dashes to get out of harm's way. 3 members closed in so quickly around him, and now you can see the pressure mounting. The clash from the side of Yaka gets bounced up as well and taken down. The next member now looking for, running for the hills, trying to see if he can get out of here, but he gets CC'd down and taken out 1-4 in favor of BYL.
Yeah, I mean, BYL found the successful dive, and now they're gonna march further down into enemy territory, pushing down into mid lane. Now with bot lane already cleared all the way to the high ground, it's looking a little rough for the side of N19, but they do have the late game insurance, so they are looking to drag this game out.
Yeah, they're trying to, but as you can see, the gold is starting to spread. We're at about, I want to say, maybe a 5K gold lead for BYL. They are starting to knock at the high ground doors of N19, and it looks like a potential free overlord for them.
Yeah, I want to say that, I mean, look at the items for these players, right? Right now, Chain is also decked out on items. He is going to do an immense amount of damage, and also he has the mobility to get himself out of harm's way, right? You need something to close the distance, and I feel like it's kind of missing on the side of N19.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing here too right now is we just don't have the damage. We built the way we were supposed to. We've got the Venomous Staff on the side of N19. We've got the Blazing Cape as well, so we can try to get a handle onto this Ogren pickup. But man, 27 has just been doing such a great job, because it's not just been these team fights. He's even been able to find people out on their own, be able to really get that regen going for them. Now have the Overlords minions beginning to flap their way to the high ground towers, and N19 doing the best that they can to defend this push. As you see the ultimate coming out, Kevin got taken out on that Consort U. That's going to be a big amount of damage taken off the board for N19. 32 seconds as you see the minions flapping his way down at this high ground, diving underneath the tower, pressing their way into the base is BYL. You can see that Infinite Fastness goes out, down goes B tier mid, trying to continue their dominating ways. 3 members left from N19. An Annihilation Laser comes out, it catches Xing. Is that gonna be enough? You can see Jewishing putting on the damage onto Ferd, who has to get back to the safety of his base.
Yeah, I mean, looks like this single push did a lot for the team, right? All the high grounds down for the side of N19, pushed into the corner, back into their base to defend, but it wasn't enough to close this game out as we reach the 15-minute mark. A Tyrant, though, goes for free, uncontested for BYL.
Yeah, and that's just what we were talking about when it comes to macro, when it comes to timing and understanding objectives here. BYL does such a great job pushing in. They lose, or they're able to find 2 members, but they don't press the advantage. They don't get greedy. They only turn back around and go back to safety when they know that they can get an objective as well. And they scoop that up very quickly, so now that they can continue this pressure onto the core of N19. No more high grounds left here as they dive deep into the back lines here, looking for an opportunity. Big Tremor lands onto 3 members of N19 in the back line. 50% left onto the score. B tier mid gets dusted. Down goes Ferd and the rest of the team following. 3 down for N19, but Ice has to back up, gets taken down to 10%. More minions on their way through the bottom 2 lanes here. Ayaka in trouble, getting spaced down and taken down. That will be game 1 going to BYL.
A decisive victory for BYL, right? I mean, BYL is not a team that gets a lead and throws away. They're a team that gets ahead and slowly but surely, bang, 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 that's nail going into coffin, one after another, and a nail goes in coffin for N19 as BYL takes game 1.
Yeah, an amazing game played by BYL. And this is something that we have talked about over and over. You talked about it. Once they get that lead, they have all these boxes that they checked correctly, keeping minions pushed, pressing into the jungle, making sure that they're getting these objectives, the great rotations. Sometimes N19, they get that lead at the beginning, but they sometimes have an issue maintaining it. They don't keep their lanes pushed. They have all these tiny little mistakes that sometimes happen. Here, I want to say I didn't really notice huge amounts of mistakes coming out from N19, but I felt maybe some of the picks could have been a little bit better, especially for Kevin. I just didn't feel the effect of this Consort U, and it did feel like BYL just had such a great game going against it, and even got a decent amount of pickoffs onto Kevin.
I mean, theoretically, right, Concert U is good counter against Long in the laning phase, at least, with the ability to immune to the damage from Long. But I do think, like as you mentioned, Kevin is a player that thrives on something that has more playmaking capabilities, like the Arlie that we saw earlier today, and having that no mobility marksman kind of limits his potential, right?
Yeah, and not just that, but the Da Chao really kind of earned their weight in gold when it came to that bottom lane. It was just so oppressive for Kevin in that early game. I don't know if you noticed, but I want to say by like the early first to second minute, he was already down to like 30% health just to taking the damage from the farm lane, taking the damage from the roamer as well. So, I mean, a great job for them to BYL to read that situation, understand where that weakness was, and to really exploit it. Then, I mean, the rest was a wrap when it came to, like we've talked about it, when they have the lead, it is a stranglehold that not many teams are able to get out of, because slowly but surely they're doing everything correct, whether it comes with keeping the lane minions pushing, making sure that you're getting these objectives, and ultimately not much that can be done when that gold lead gets so far into like the 12-minute mark and they're pushing on your core.
And the repeating theme that we see with BYL that differentiate them against some of these strong teams like N19 and Flash Marathon is that BYL makes very few mistakes on their own side. They always have a very calculated playbook and great synergy as a team that doesn't leave opening for their opponents to exploit. And once you start showing your cracks, they're going to dig deep into that and open it up and knock you down. So that's something you have to really be careful when you're playing up against BYL, but it does show their supremacy currently in this tournament.
The thing for me, what I want to see from N19 and where we have seen them successful when it comes to a strategy like this, I feel like when it comes to the 101, those core values, I feel like BYL, just they have them synergized. You're not going to break them. You're not going to find them making these mistakes. The best you can do against them, and the best that N19 has done, has been able to get the early game favor and get it to such a degree that BYL has not been able to come back from in a great position. They have been able to kind of reverse it and get back to an even start, but they're so far behind that eventually BYL, there's a crack in the armor that they're able to get exploited there. But I believe we are ready for our next draft.
Yeah, draft is ready now. Like you mentioned, right, you need to get the early game and kind of snowball your way through and not give an opening to BYL. And I have to see here, part of that early game is to have a successful draft. What do the team have in store for us here?
Yeah, and it's funny too, because it's so easy to say on paper, it's like, just have a good early game. It's one of those things it's if you have a hope, you need to just have this super aggressive early stance from N19 to really offset BYL, because I mean, we've seen it. Once they have the lead, it's usually very hard for them to lose it. It's been very rare occasions that we've seen. Here, BYL going to go ahead and take Arlie and Anua off the board. N19, you see Lung and Zhongfei taken off the board. Zhongfei been one of those very strong roams in that roam position. He just provides so much when it comes to CC, sustaining ability. I think we saw in the first series how much shielding he provides for a team, but not to be outdone by a Lapu Lapu, who I feel like is just right there next to Zhongfei when it comes to being this vital role in that roam as a tank position.
I mean, absolutely right. Without the Zhongfei being available, you have an option like Lapu Lapu, who is comparable in many ways. Now, for N19, Kevin finally back with something that he's obviously very comfortable on. We have the Flowborn Marksman, who only needs about 3 items to get online. So I am expecting Kevin to make more plays this game. And the one hero that N19 do not want to see is going to be Agudo, right? They haven't found success themselves, but they've seen how well it could be utilized by other teams, especially with BYL. That's one of their champion heroes. With that available here on the map, N19 has had a pushed into the corner to pick up something like the Hano that Pigwin did not find as much success on.
Yeah, this is one of the I know we've kind of joked about it, especially today. N19 have been at odds with this pick, the Agudo pickup. When it's on their team, they just cannot find the momentum, cannot find what they need to be able to find the victory on it, especially with what they go up against. Agudo has been so successful. Pigwin gonna go ahead and settle on the Hano. He didn't even stop. As soon as he saw the Agudo, he's like, all right, Hano, immediately scooped that up. But is it going to be enough? We've talked about it before. Hano, I mean, he provides a little bit of a counter, being able to reset towers, but that means that is provided that N19 isn't just getting overwhelmed at the tower, because BYL can just immediately siege, tower resets, and then they just siege again. You have to be able to answer that and push back from that tower as well.
Yeah, right now on the side of BYL, they still are looking for a mage pick here. We do see both Ganamo and Nuwa, some very strong late game mid lanes being taken off for grabs. Potentially here, My Shunoi could be an option for BYL. They're really looking for that early game and continue to snowball in the early game to close the game off early. But I do think that they could look for something that provides a little bit more security, especially in the late game, because we've seen so far all the series have been pretty lengthy.
Young Jian, they're kind of floating on this possibility. I kind of wince sometimes for a Young Jian, just because I feel like sometimes there might be a better tank out there. Young Jian, I've discussed it before. I feel like the stars need to align. There's a lot of boxes that need to be checked correctly. You have to have his passive bar filled up so that he gets that growth spurt where he can do a lot of damage, he can tank a lot, and then you can really be able to engage on him. If you don't have that bar filled up, then the engagement opportunity has kind of passed, and you're not going to have a lot of the regenning or the sustaining capabilities that you need. So you're almost a slave to waiting on that. Here, I mean, we're going to see how and effective that they can be with it.
Yeah, I mean, Adolia is still available, but it does not look like that will be an option for them right now. Maybe potentially looking for a silent as well. I like what I'm seeing on the side of BYL. They have the Charlotte. They are able to kind of dive into the back line to get to that flowborn marksman. And I kind of thought that they would go for something like the late degen to kind of counter the front lines on the side of N19. But what they have for us is also available and providing a lot of this macro play that an Agudo pick is looking for.
Yeah, really interesting thing here. This is what we saw a little bit from N19 last in the first series from BYL now. You can see with the Gerudo pick, you're going to have a lot of sieging potential. You're going to have the Wings of Judgment coming out. You're going to have Chicha being able to kind of blow apart from the back end, while you have the Agudo and the Lapu diving underneath the tower trying to break that down. It's going to be very interesting. Hopefully there is a plan on N19's side to counteract that.
Yeah, I mean, with the Garuda pick, it provides the utility that the side of BYL is looking for, right, and helping Agudo rotate. So how it plays out, we'll have to see as we enter second game of this 5-game series.
Yeah, hopefully licking their wounds. Is N19 looking to tie things up against the dominant BYL? BYL have not lost a series yet throughout this entire tournament. They've lost some games, they've given some up, but it feels like when we're talking about growth of teams here, BYL seems to have kind of covered up a lot of those interesting cracks in the armor as well.
Yeah, I mean, BYL, they have consistently been just a dominating force in this arena, but they also have been reflecting and also watching the game, right? They know to ban out the early, ban out certain picks that N19 really thrives on. It shows that they are studying their opponents as well and keeping up their aggression and their dominance.
Oh, we see that the Falcon on the bottom was picked up by N19. So good job by them to kind of keep that consistent pressure onto the bottom lane here. You can see 27 making his way down to the bottom. Does have that ultimate. Might be looking for something here. Ayaka gets pounced down. Damage comes out. And that is going to be a first blood. What a smooth transition from BYL.
Oh, what a smooth play from the Aguro. Kind of demonstrating to N19 how you should play that.
Oh, Kevin running for the hills. Is he going to be able to get to the safety? He is not. Right in the back lane, able to scoop up the damage is Swan. He's going to be able to dash himself back to safety, and not a person able to stop him. Speaking of which, they do find a kill onto Xing and answer back 3-1 right now in favor of BYL. Still a lot of pressure at that bottom lane. Speaking of pressure, B-tier mid might be a little bit low. He's just able to get that regen back from Jay Wishing, who does decide to disengage.
I mean, both of them taking down very low, right? Not going to fully engage and fully commit to that, which is a great move on both parts.
Yeah, you can see already the wings of judgment. As soon as Ice had that level 4, able to, actually, B-tier mid gets taken out with that ranged attack from Jay Wishing.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte is just so strong 1-to-1, right? When you're match up against a strong laner like Charlotte, you gotta be kind of careful.
Ooh, you can see Ayaka kind of poking around. He knows something's up in that bush. Kevin almost got a little too close to that bush before Ayaka could go ahead and check it. And I want to say, I think B-tier mid, Charlotte has to be that one kryptonite. I think of all the heroes I've seen of him in the Clash lane go up against, I feel like Charlotte has been the one who has always like really been a nuisance for him.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte is very good at 1v1, a silent demon and a backline flank with so much mobility and movement speed, and you got to kind of have your skills ready and really react really quickly to having a pick like that.
Ooh, you can already see about a 1K gold lead starting to expend here by BYL, only at the 3-minute and 30-second mark. So that's a pretty early time to be taking a 1K gold lead already for BYL, doing such a great job. Every single bit of oppression that they can use, even with when it comes to the wings of judgment coming from Ice on that Garuda to just back up the rest of N19, just so that BYL could scoop up that little minion. It's just that they're using all of this stuff. These little minions, these little farms, these little things stolen away from N19 are just going to continue to stack up.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one player in this tournament that can play Garuda, that can play Agura like a pro, it's going to be 27.
Yeah, as we come in here, Ayaka here trying to fend off 27 there at the side lane. You can see a big flank coming out here. Wings of Judgment out there by Ice on this Garuda. Is it going to be enough? He does back them up a little bit. Pigwin coming in here, but taken down to 50% is that Tyrant. And it doesn't look like N19 in a great position there. You can see 27 on that Agudo able to pick it up. Big pop-up lands onto 2 members of BYL, but they make their hasty escape. Still 4-1 in favor of BYL.
Yeah, I mean, they are showing us the textbook performance of having a composition like the Aguro, like the Garuda, and you want to play the macro game and just lives with a sliver of health is going to be that Charlotte played by Jewishing.
Well, speaking of which, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for Penguin. Oh, he does use that rewind to get himself out, but it's not enough. Agudo able to put the finishing touches, and speaking of finishing touches, trying to take down this mid tower as well. The rest of N19 doing the best they can to try to defend it, down to 10%. Is it going to be enough? Look at the auto attacks. He really wants it, and he's going to be able to scoop it up.
Yeah, that's a critical opening, right, for BYL. They got the mid tower down. That's the most important tower throughout the game, right? You want to open up the vision for your team and for the side of N19. You see, having a Halo might not do enough as you expect.
And unfortunately for Pigwin, he had to use a lot of his abilities defensively. He was getting shot down, had to use that rewind, and still got taken down before they started focusing on the tower. So he wasn't even there to be able to use his Fate Rewind to bring that tower back. As a great and dominating performance thus far, 5-1 B tier mid, taking down two members of BYL, is going to have to try to disengage. Minions now coming, and he, unfortunately, is not going to be able to save this tower.
He is spending for that tower with his dear life, but when you have something like the Agudo, that's how you play, that's how you shred the health bar of every single tower and slowly but surely open up the map. And pair up with something like the Garuda, right? The Wings of Judgment just allows the team to kind of dive into the backline. You have that consistent damage that's coming out from him, and it just makes it really hard for you to find a path of escape.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we were missing when we see the Agudo pickup on N19, is this aggression in the early game, the sieging potentially, immediately going for the towers. We're at the 7-minute mark, and I believe 3 towers have already been pressed by BYL, and each of them have been successful.
Yeah, I mean, BYL is a team that needs no invitation for their continuous aggression. And they understand that this is the game that they need to be aggressive. They need to continue to snowball and play the macro game, take down every single tower, every objective, and putting your enemies into the back foot.
You can already see that Chalice picked up by Pigwin on the Hano. So not much in the form of an anti-heal just yet for the side of N19. That might be a problem. And this is the issue when it comes to being so behind here is, do you continue to pick up to go for the anti-heal and set back your damage even more because you guys are behind? As it gets later and later, that anti-heals are going to become so important to a lot of these team engagements. But then you just don't have the damage, even though you have the anti-heal. So it's this rough balance when you're behind. And you can see now, again, 27, the big siege onto the top lane. B tier mid in trouble, uses that flash, might not be able to get away. Out come the Wings of Judgment, and this is what we were talking about. This big sieging potential of this composition out on the show. Big Tremor Smash does land into the back line, thankfully, for the side of N19, helping them with that disengage.
And honestly, one of the key things that we notice with how Agudo is executed in this lineup by BYL is that they always have 4 men diving down the tower. And when you see that coming, you kind of get pushed back, right? B tier mid was stuck in the top lane the entire game. He's not able to kind of rotate and help out his team in his team fight. And with that, he still loses both of the towers.
Yeah, and now this jungle belongs to BYL. 27 just working his way through it, and there's not much that N19 can do to stop it. They're looking to try to get their hands, try to get a mistake, but you're talking about a 6K gold disadvantage right now at the about 9-minute mark. It's very hard, and you're looking to catch somebody out of line. And honestly, the problem is with the grouping. If BYL groups, they're just going to be able to run through. If BYL splits up, they're doing a great job of being able to keep up the macro, keep these lanes pushed up here for some of these objectives. And now you see a little damage comes out there. Schwan. Oh, we have the ult. We have that passive coming out there from Ferd, but he uses it as an escape. B-tier mid was alone fighting for his life, and Ferd was like, I'm sorry, brother. I'm gonna have to see my way out of this fight. Pigwin trying to defend this tower on with the help of Ayaka.
I mean, shredded down into his own base. I mean, we see that the level of communication and synergy coming in from BYL. They understand exactly every single game their win condition and how they come back, even when they're put in a back foot. But with these 2 series, or 2 games so far, they haven't even been in that position, right? Right now, they are looking at a very sizable gold lead and just looking to clear off the entire map and waiting for the next objective.
Yeah, but I want to say the N19, they're trying to do their best here. You can see as immediately as that Overlord gets taken, the Tyrant gets picked up by N19. However, I'm not sure what this fight was. This is a little confusing because you know you didn't have your whole team there. Now 5 of them running for the hills, trying to find the disengagement there as well. And Ferd is taken down. That's going to be 1 down for N19. 8 and 1 right now at the 10-minute mark.
The amount of damage that Garuda is actually doing is insane. insane, right? He's not really known for doing that much damage, but just because of how farmed they are right now, they're just unstoppable across the map.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter who's in the front line anymore. Even with a tanky line, you've got B tier mid, you've got Ferd, a Yaka up there. It doesn't matter. At this point, Ice is just going to be having a huge amount of damage. You can see already there. He's already, I want to say, 3 items deep into there, into that damage that he can be doing with those items. The BYL right now, 8-1, a 7K a gold lead for them.
Yeah, and if you look closely, Hano actually did not build that anti-heal just yet. He's prioritizing the damage and the CDR on his side, which, I mean, it's fair, but if you're looking at a tanky composition like what you're seeing here, actually not even that tanky, but still the damage and the amount of sustain is something to watch out for.
And this is the way to play. And Gudo, you see that reset on that tower was not enough. They're still able to go ahead and smash through. A Tremor Smash comes on, is going to put some damage onto Swan, but the rest of the team's going to have to disengage from the fight. They go back to the safety of their core, but I mean, slowly but surely, they find themselves continually getting pressed back, and that's the value of about a 9K gold lead.
Yeah, already a 9K gold lead at the 12-minute mark. The entire map is wide open for the side of BYL. They are just waiting patiently, controlling the lanes like you mentioned, right? Getting all the lanes pushed in, taking every resource possible, and waiting for the enemies to make one more mistake to close this game off.
Yeah, right now, N19 looking for an opportunity here, but I want to say this entire jungle, they can't even really like try to use the Leon Poe to do face checks on these bushes. There's so much damage. Now it's just the last 2 high grounds at the bottom and mid lane as they're trying to take apart some of these Shadow Overlord minions.
Yeah, this is a huge swing of momentum for the side of BYL, right? They have consistently dominating 2 games in a row. And now when this happens, right, your team for N19 is put in a back foot. Like, you have to be still patient and also understand what your opportunities are and not being too eager to make a play.
Yeah, look at the amount of dragons down here at the bottom. A great job by BYL to kind of juggle some of those minions. The Fate Rewind actually keeps this tower up, but they lose the mid-high ground tower. Was it worth it? They're about to lose all of them. They turned their entire focus down to this bottom high ground tower. The Wings of Judgment are chunking away at N19. They actually had to rotate a Yaka to the front to tank a lot of that damage as B tier mid was about to be dusted off the map.
Oh, I mean, the Wings of Judgment is definitely judging you right now. And they understand the assignment, right? BYL is making calculated play as they do per usual. They're just getting the objective. They want to take down the towers. They want to open up the high ground. And now they quickly rotated to secure that turret as well.
And now 8-1, a 10K gold lead for BYL. Now starting to push. You see how they push all the lanes to start trying to crash all at the same time. BYL trying to jockey for position here, looking for a final engagement, a final road to take down this core. Look at that Wings of Judgment shredding down a Yaka who might be in trouble, gets stunned out there. Auto attack takes him out on the back end. B tier mid down. That's 2 down for N19. BYL pressing their advantage. They have minions still coming in a moment. They're juggling around the aggro of this core and forced to back up. But Wings of Judgment back out there. Oh my God, the damage onto that. Kevin almost got one shot. Now minions started to crash at the core. I'm not sure if BYL, do they have enough to set down the final 3 members of N19? Core down to 20%. And BYL find themselves another victory.
Oh, congratulations for BYL. Now they are at the match point, right? I mean, chances are kind of running out for N19. It's do or die. This is one last game until BYL takes it home with a clean sweep, and that's not what we're looking for the grand final series, right? We want to see the matches go to the distance, but the question is, will N19 make the changes that they need to get a win in their pocket?
And it's not even just about N19, it's about BYL have cleaned up. We talk about some of these teams, it's harder to notice sometimes when a team like BYL makes some of the changes because they've already been so successful, but they have given up some of those games. They have had some issues where they let something slip, and N19 was able to walk away with the victory, or another team like Flash Smiley and were able to walk away with the victory. Here, they have closed up a lot of those holes. Here, it's just a clinical game here, especially when we see the Agudo pickup. A much different reaction, even from you, when you see an Agudo pickup by N19 than when you see it picked up by BYL. When you see it picked up by BYL, you understand, you know they understand perfectly what they need to be doing with it, and that the early game is going to be a mess for their opponents because of the sieging ability.
I mean, BYL was a team that put Agudo on the map in this tournament, right? And in that interview, we found out that Agudo is actually one of the players' favorite heroes, champion heroes. We understand that they know exactly how to execute it. And I'm expecting, at least for both sides, to put, at least for the side of N19, to possibly lock that thing up and put it in the drawer as they should have. But so many options still available. And when you ban out something like the Agudo, you leave other things open. So how they have to respond to the next game, the one thing that they shouldn't do in my books is to pick that Agudo. You don't want to, I mean, this is their last shot to try it, but is that what they want to do?
Hi, when it's game points, I'm kind of at a point of just like, what you've tried so far hasn't worked, especially when you don't have a victory yet. So go with whatever. Go with your heart. If there's a spirit speaking to you, go with that. Use the force, whatever, fill in the blank here, etc. You need to do to try to find that fervor to press ahead. Right now, what they've been doing just has not been working, and it's not even to the detriment of N19. There are a few mistakes here and there that they've been making, but man, BYL has just been a wrecking ball here in the NAKA tournament that nobody has really been able to find a sustained answer for.
Yeah, I mean, when pressure is mounting and this is the potentially last game and last chance for them, they might be looking for some sneaky plays. And let's see if they can bring us something fresh in their draft as we enter the draft for potentially match point for BYL.
Yeah, we're going to see if the prediction from Hoon Nostradamus comes true here. If N19 is going to be able to kind of get that victory. This is their last opportunity to try to find some type of resistance here against BYL. I want to say yesterday too, N19 was very successful in that first pick position as well. So maybe they can find it in their draft here. That same not luck, but that same strategy that they were using yesterday that was successful for them when they were first picking. BYL though, man, just needs to keep on doing what they're doing because they are at their potential match point.
Yeah, but we did see in all 3 weeks, I would say, BYL sometimes do leave an opening, and they sometimes like to try new things out. And also sometimes when you get to that match point, you could be, even a team like BYL can be making some mistakes, right? Here we see a strong start though for BYL. They have the NUA pick that's shown us how successful it could be in the player's hands, locked in right now for the side of BYL.
Yeah, you see the Lung going ahead and being scooped up immediately for N19, and that Flowborn and NUA on the side of BYL. They're going to have a lot of CC when it comes to Flowborn in that jungle position, the tanking ability, as well as that mid to late game surgeons that we get with a NUA pickup. But it depends. I mean, we've seen sometimes it's kind of crazy because you talk about NUA, you talk about the items that she needs, you talk about late to mid game that she might start popping off, and then we'll see a game like we saw with Pigwin, where right from the get-go, as soon as he gets the emergence ability, he's just out there taking names. So we'll see how well that BYL perform with this.
See, I mean, we're talking in theory, right? But if you have someone who's just so skilled at NUA and understand exactly where to teleport yourself, exactly when to use your skills, then we'll be looking at a different game. But Also on the side of BYL, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like that the Jiwishin, what Jiwishin kind of scooped up for his team. Fuzi does so much, especially towards the late game. So I like having this into this lineup right now.
Yeah, Futsi, I want to say that's probably been something to take away from B tier mid as well, but here they're going to go ahead and battle against his Byron. A big tanky front line for the side of N19 and a little bit of an early game there with an Ogren pickup there, but like I said, you need to get the value out of it. Is he tanky? Yes. Can he take on a group of people? Yes, but there's also other parts of it is how great and how fast he can burn down minions in the early game with his farming ability, getting into some of those lanes to take down a lot of those minions. So you really want to get up with him when you're farming.
Once again, we see the return of the Agudo, the favorite hero for N19 to have in the pocket on the map. And once again, we'll have that. But this time it's a little bit of a different strategy they're going for, right? They have Nuwa that it needs some items to come online as well. They don't have as much of a macro play as the previous one. How that will play out, we'll have to find out.
You see Pigwin leaning towards this Princess Frost pickup, which would not be bad with an Agudo out on the field as well. Ooh, we got another pickup. I believe we're going to be leaning on to Aaron if all things go well. But man, I have to say N19 are possibly going to be seeing this in their nightmares. A dark rider riding a horse, riding a bear, going for their towers 27 if they cannot stop this Agudo pick from BYL.
I mean, we were talking about having some unconventional plays, some sneaky ways back into the game when it's at this match point, right? And they're giving us just that. The Aaron paired up with the chain, with what Ching has, the Lawn, as well as the Princess Frost. That is a very interesting mix that we're seeing. How that will play out, we'll have to see, because I do see actually Aaron is in the hands of their row. So let's find out as we walk into potentially a match point for the side of BYL.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the potential final match of the NAKA tournament. N19 looking, searching, hoping for anything they can use to possibly get themselves a victory here against BYL, this oppressive force that has swung through our tournament. A 3-2 here at the mid lane, trying to get that oppressive power is N19. Great rotation there, quickly going to go ahead and try to see if they can create some pressure at those side lanes.
Yeah, I was trying to see if maybe potentially Ayaka is going to go the mid lane build, but it does seem like he picked up the Roamer's set, so he will not be sharing gold. And first time in this tournament seeing alone.
Ooh, B tier mid looking for the kill there, but a lofty flash coming out from Wishing. You know he's cackling on his way out.
Yeah, and shifting our attention back to the farm lane, right? We see the Long paired up with the Aaron here. 2 and versus 3 right now. Already rotating is going to be Agudo.
Yeah, I tried to use that ultimate, but a great flash there used by Kevin to get out of harm's way. So that's not going to be an early kill for them. I want to say a little bit of frustration maybe showing, or just 2 people up at top lane that just wanted to kind of throw down that gauntlet. And we're like, let's just go at it. So you can see already still about even when it comes to the gold so far at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen some players build the Lone in a more semi-tank kind of mode, but he does lack some of the defensive crowd control that he needs in this role. So we have to see how he's actually able to provide the support that Aaron needs.
Yeah, right now, still kind of continuing on with their rotations. Still fighting it out, I want to say, up top as well. Here, 3-on-2. Actually, Schwan might be in a little bit of trouble. Just gets back up, pushed a little too deep. Ching trying the best that he can to put on the suppressive fire from the side, but is not able to save his teammate.
And that might be the value that we're seeing here with picking out something like the Lana as a roamer. So we already see early game, you have that aggression, you have that laning ability by providing more damage to your farm lane. So that is a good play on the side of N19 so far.
Yeah, we're going to see if it kind of continues here. So Wishing in a little bit of a bad way. He's going to go back to his tower. Doesn't have his healing there. So B tier mid's going to actually be able to put some damage onto it. Dashing forward, he's going to push the Wishing all the way back till he has to recall to base.
Yeah, we have to see, right, for the side of N19 if the poking damage kind of falls off late game with the outing. And now here, rotating, providing some vision will be Princess Frost, but not really looking for engage just yet.
Ooh, Emergence comes down and immediately getting some pressure on, and a push on to the farm lane is BYL, and 27 going ahead competing there at the mid. You can see there a lot of damage coming out from that Princess Frost pick, a Pigwin.
Yeah, I mean, right now, this is I was just gonna say, this is the first game we see N19 kind of getting a slight advantage early in game. Not huge, and by all means, only about a 400 gold lead, but it is a sign that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, you can see B tier mid trying to get some damage on there, but Wishing does go ahead and retreat back to the safety of his tower there. Very interesting that this, I want to say this double marksman, double farm lane seems to be working out for N19 so far. They're able to keep up the pressure here now down to 25%. But 27 able to go ahead and scoop it up on the back line. Ching in trouble, gets taken down by the lone. 27 now running for the hills. Out comes the infinite vastness from N19 as they go ahead, find themselves an escape, setting their sights for this mid lane tower.
Yeah, they are looking to put some pressure across the map. Right now, they're looking pretty good with that 2-kill lead ahead of BYL. This is the first game in this series that they're really getting that early game advantage and putting kind of Agudo on the back foot when you have something like that that needs to kind of snowball in the early game.
Oh, yeah, you can see Pigwin actually got caught there, popped up as well. 27 on the side, looking for an opportunity to kind of press his will underneath this tower at the mid lane. It is a 2v2. You do have Ice. You do have the farm lane coming in from BYL on the side. 27 looking for the flank. Are they going to be able to find it? Ferd gets popped up there, but still in a good position to be able to protect their tower. This is what you want when it comes to defending. Seems like N19 have an answer for this Agudo pick.
I mean, this is an answer, potential answer, right? You last game they kind of went the defensive route, and this time they're gonna match the aggression.
Yeah, B tier mid comes in from the side, flashes in. Infinite vastness is out, but not able to find the target. In fact, they turn it around, able to find a Yaka who gets taken out on his retreat. And that is just not what you want when you were able to surprise the enemy. A great play by BYL.
Yeah, great response, right? They're faced up with this unorthodox match, but they're not afraid, right? They understand what they need to do, and they're not making any mistakes, and they're trying to maintain their momentum. And right now, the gold lead is slightly in their favor.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's just crazy as B tier mid was able to go ahead and get the flank, flash in, surprise the rest of BYL, but they were still able to turn this around, especially with the Yaka who swooped in with that infinite vastness and just couldn't find the escape as they all turned around and burst him down. 2-1 game and still a tie when it comes up to the gold. Ferd gonna come in here collecting a bunch of this health that he can to kind of keep that sustained up as well. You can see a big pop-up lands onto 27. No worse for wear either of these guys, and both teams live without taking a death just yet.
Yeah, right now map is also looking pretty even, but bot lane private.
Yeah, B tier mid got surprised. We were talking about that. The emergence from Ice teleported him down, and they just rained down damage. Speaking of raining down damage, Ferd gets caught. A flash closes the distance. Schwan gets replied in kind, and down goes Ching.
Oh, Kevin carried the team on his back once again, and he found the dive, and he found the finish.
Yeah, unfortunately, I want to say this is what I was talking about. You get one tower and BYL reply with two. You have the mid tower down and the bottom. Jay Wishing able to get that bottom tower as well. So just a great amount of farming and macro coming from BYL.
Yeah, and looking at the gold, right, it was in favor of N19 slightly, but now they're kind of falling short. But BYL found the momentum that they needed, and they're still playing that calculated macro game.
Yeah, you see Sparks Forge picked up by both marksmen already, and now trying to kind of continue on with this. That ultimate came out there from Ching on that Chano pickup. Ooh, B-tier mid actually might be in trouble. Gets immediately dominated, taken off the board, 5-6 right now on the back end forward by himself against 3 members, and unfortunate for him, taken down immediately. 7 kills for BYL. Looks like they're going to turn their attention to the Tyrants.
Oh wow, that what looks like a pretty terrible start for BYL and is now turning heavily into their favor. They're already scooping up another tyrant and taking down more towers across the map and kind of bringing the game back into their control.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Kevin. But Kevin is a one-man wrecking machine. Despite what the team is doing on the other side, Kevin is doing what he can to kind of press on that single lane by himself. It's almost amazing that he hasn't been able to get that tower just yet as well. You can say he's wishing on that Foodsie starting to come onto that side too. He wants to try to go ahead and offset that push that they've been seeing from N19. Speaking of which, on the back end, Juan taking a decent amount of damage, a push there secured by Ice to help him find his escape.
Now we're looking at 5 men here in the mid tower. Are they able to secure it though?
Oh, and a great pickup there on the side for N19. Find the flank there, are able to take down Diagudo. 27 laid to rest. He's got 22 more seconds as minions begin piling at his mid lane tower. Juan comes in, tries to take down the minions. Not going to be able to. That's going to be another tier 2 tower for the side of N19. Matching it. There's 2 down for BYL. Can N19 find the momentum that they need?
I mean, that's definitely a shift in the momentum, right? They got 2 kills, they pushed down 2 into the mid lane, opening up the map significantly for their team. Now, for the viewers watching at home, I hope you are as excited as me right now. Deluxe Hero Box here with this code that you see on screen. Make sure you snipe that into your pocket and we jump back into the game.
Yeah, Jay Wishing bit off a little bit more than he could chew. The rest of N19 flounder around him, able to find the kill there. Infinite Vastness is out for the side of N19, looking to find an advantage on this Tyrant pickup. 4 members of BYL. You see the ultimate go out there, down to 50% is the Tyrant. Going in deep into enemy territory. Ferd, a flank from the back end, able to take down 2 members of BYL, and N19 sitting supreme, doing a great job trying to chase down Ching, who's running for the hills. I'm not sure he knows where he's going, but he has been caught. Minions are out, and he is not long to live. He's just trying to last as long as he can to take the attention from N19 away from this objective. You see him zigzagging back and forth. He actually might be able to get away. Oh, just kidding. Ferd is right there to go ahead and scoop it up, chasing him down, and then the ultimate there from Ferd, able to finish the job.
You know, at first I was a little hesitant about the strategy that N19 has in store for us this game, but it looks like it's really working out for them. They're securing these objectives. They're opening up the map. They're allowing the damage to pile up on top of BYL, and right now they are looking at a goalie for in their pocket.
It was just a masterful flank that come in. You had Ferd and B-tier mid in the front line trying to hold off and dive under this Tyrant. Meanwhile, you had Kevin and Ayaka on both of the marksmen. They completely went all the way around BYL, countered them from behind, and just absolutely blasted them. Before you knew it, 2 members were down. Jay Wishing now having to find himself and escape through his tower. The rest of BYL coming here to try to protect that top lane. Are they going to be able to do it? You still have 2 members there, and it looks like they're going to abandon it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game is a great way to kind of test out the waters by having a 2 marksman in your composition, because you have the tanky front line from the Odd One, from the Byron, and also you have the CC that Pigwin is able to provide on this Princess Frost. So right now, they have everything that they need to kind of pull this game through and secure potentially a comeback.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I'm actually so curious how this is working. Yaka, mostly defensive items on him on this Lung, so he's just basically this tank. He still has a lot of damage that he can do. He's got a little bit of sustain through some of his abilities as well, but I mean, I don't even see how that works. And there's a moment where if you're the enemy team, you see this and you're like, why are we even aiming for this dude? Just let him go and go for Kevin, because that's a dude that's absolutely smashing us. And maybe it's just that muscle memory that when you see a marksman on your team, you forget that he's got defensive belts and defensive bracers on to be able to tank damage. Now turning their attention to this Overlord is N19, trying not to go quietly into the night. I don't know if they realize some of the people here hiding in the bushes for BYL. Down to 30% is the Overlord, turning their attention, looking for a fight. Are they going to be able to find it? You can see them dancing around it. They want this fight. They actually reset the Overlord. Is Jay wishing? Oh, looking for a little bit of a sneaky play here. He wants to go ahead and get the attention down here. You see how quickly he's going to be able to scoop this up. Minions now coming at the bottom. He's going to be able to get that high ground. 2 people have turned away from this Overlord. They know they have to deal with him. Are they going to be able to? You see them running. Ayaka, he looked for that pull, was not able to find it. On the back end here, Xing in trouble. They're chasing him down. If they can get some of those auto attacks to take him down. Jay wishing underneath the tower, trying to put the damage onto Ayaka, but he's realizing the strength, dare I say, of a Lung tank build. Jay wishing has to disengage.
Yeah, I mean, just with him being a farm laner, he already has that built-in ability to push down and take objectives really quickly, despite going a tanky build, right? But at this part of the game, Chain is a lot more sustainable than as before. He's able to run off into safety and have a reset for his team.
Yeah, you can see the rest of the team being backed up here by Fer, doing a great job trying to create distance for his team so they can nail down this Shadow Overlord. Rest of the team, Yaka here on the front lines, trying to keep the damage up. Oh, Ice able to steal the Shadow Overlord from N19 with an Annihilation Laser.
And that is a critical W for the side of BYL, right? Because they can't find the opening into pit. Once you go in, right, Princess Frost is gonna freeze you to your death. And unfortunately though, for N19, they had everything ready for us, but looks like the smite is what they're missing.
Oh, what a play there. And you know the sad thing is you've seen it. You've seen it a dozen times. Ice has tried before when playing Nua. Every single time there is an objective, there is going to be that Annihilation Laser going out. So you always have to be ready for it. Actually here in a little bit of trouble here. And 19, down goes B tier mid. The rest of BYL looking to press their advantage here. Shadow Overlord minions beginning to creep their way. Oh, look at the damage coming out here. Big pound. Swan gets eaten alive by N19. The rest of BYL have to back up.
Yeah, I mean, for BYL, right, you don't want to give them an opening, because once they see an opportunity, they seize it, they take the lead and are able to transform each lead, each advantage into something substantial in this game.
Yeah, right now you can see N19 trying their best. Yaka at the front lines here. This manning the front line as this tank Lung pickup here. The room Lung, I'm beside myself here. As the rest of the team now going to try to put their focus onto this tyrant pickup. You can see already the Overlord has to be answered by B tier mid. They know that they have the numbers here. BYL going to press their advantage here, taking down Ferd. Now looking for another one on there. Down goes Kevin. The rest of the team in tow, looking for an escape. Pigwin trying to throw out some CC. Is it going to be able to get away? Chunked down by BYL. Ching able to find the damage. It's only B tier mid alone to defend against BYL. 30 seconds on on the map before another person able to help. Could this be the end for N19? BYL pressing onto the core, looking for our first champions in the NAKA tournament. BYL over N19.
Oh, the goal has been reached. The dream has been fulfilled as BYL will continue to reign supreme in this tournament as the champion of the first NAKA season.
And what a great game played. We talked about pulling out everything, if you've got an idea, throw it out there. Yaka was like, I can roam loam. they're like, you know what? Game point, let's do it. It wasn't half bad. It was actually mildly successful. It's just one small little mistake at the Overlord in which Ice threw out that annihilation, able to steal that away from N19, turned this around and absolutely steamrolled N19's hopes of continuing on in this tournament.
Props for BYL for giving us an unconventional pick and something to watch for, but BYL will continue their dominance as they will be crowned champion for the North America Kings Arena.
Yeah, none more deserving than BYL. Week after week, even before the playoffs, they have been walking out at the top, $1,000 after $1,000, winning the top of the mountain, then coming to the playoffs, continuing their winning ways, not losing a single series. That is domination worthy of an A.
I mean, worthy of an S, right? And you talked about how even a team like BYL, who has been so dominating in this tournament, has cleaned up their act. And today is the first time they actually have a clean series for us. This time, they're really looking at a 3-0 clean sweep finally in the grand finals. And that itself is deserving of a win.
Oh yeah, taking a point away from Hoon's prediction of the 3-1. He is not the Nostradamus we thought he was. A clean sweep from BYL, like we said, continually improving, even though they were at the top of the mountain, still kind of closing those gaps that they needed to make sure that there was never going to be a doubt here in this finals here. What a great game and what dominance here by BYL.
Dominance is not enough to kind of capture their performance, right? Today, we see that they really delivered what they promised it yesterday. They were 70% confidence, but they're showing us that they're 100% prepared. They're making so few mistakes. The last game, right? Some unexpected plays coming in from N19, but ultimately they secure the victory. What a performance for BYL. And now we have a player joining us on their team to talk about how they feel.
Yeah, it looks like we have a 27 in the chat. How are you doing, 27? And how does it feel to finally be the victor at the end of the NAKA tournament?
Hello, 27, can you hear us? I think your mic is muted.
Hello?
Hello, 27. How are you feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling really good.
So,
yeah, did you Go ahead, Private.
First of all, congratulations on a very dominating performance here, especially here in the finals. Didn't lose a single game in the series. I know yesterday you guys did take an L to N19. Was there something on your mind that you guys needed to fix that was a problem? I know you took a single loss to N19 yesterday. Was there something you guys had in mind that you needed to fix to make sure that you guys could be as dominant as you were today?
Oh, it's mainly on the BP. So, it's our BP is more focusing on the midline and then also some farm line heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we see you guys actually pull out Agudo twice. You were very dominant in Agudo, but N19 was a team that wasn't able to execute it as well. Can you give us 1 or 2 tips on how to really utilize Agudo to its full potential?
Oh, so Aguro, his first skill is you can use it to get where, like to know where the enemies are, because the small animals, they can also give you the visible, and then also so the first skill you can also use to attack the tower. So it's really fast. If I know there's nobody around the tower, I will just go there and then just attacking the tower, even though there's no minions.
I see. And when you play the Aguro, what kind of heroes do you want on your team to make sure that you get the aggression early game?
Oh, can I say the Chinese name for the heroes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, for the support is Zhang Fei.
Zhang Fei.
Crash line is 老夫子的.
Uzi, yes.
Yeah, that's
What else?
like for the mid line and the farm line, it don't really affect that much for Aguro.
What are the reasons behind Fuzi and Zhang Fei that makes it pair well with Aguro?
Oh,
for
so for Fuzi is you can keep the it can hold the enemy, so it don't run away, so I can keep attacking them, because Aguro that the damage is very high if the he's I don't know how to say that, but I mean the big one, the big animal, it has very high damage, but its moving speed is really slow.
So you need someone to kind of pin down the enemies.
Yeah, yeah, and Zhang Fei for the same reason. I also can protect Aguro.
I see. And now one game, the last game, N19 kind of picked the lone as a roamer. What was your reaction when you saw that?
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
So they picked Aoying as a support. What was your reaction when you saw that pick?
Oh, I was pretty surprised, and I do like I do play a good an important role on the support, because for our farm line it is really so our farm line feels pretty bad because of the Aoying.
The damage and poke.
Yeah.
And how did you guys come back from it?
Oh, so the main comeback is on the Nuwa. He get the dragon.
That one overlord.
Yeah. And then because and then also because I pick Aguro, so if we get any advantage, and then we can just keep going.
I see.
Now, in North America right now, there is kind of a growing interest now. HoK is starting to kind of bubble up with a lot of people wanting to learn, wanting to understand the game, play it at a level, potentially at a level that you guys have. And one of the holes that needs to be filled when it comes to building that type of community is like great, smart streamers who understand the game, who understand what it needs to be. Are there any chances of you or anybody else from BYL potentially maybe streaming HoK, maybe spreading some of that knowledge and that those gifts to the rest of the community?
Yeah, we could do that, but our team doesn't have good English.
That's a chance to practice your English and showcase your gameplay.
Yeah. Okay.
And now with the 5,000 in your pocket and all of the tokens in your hands, what are you gonna do with it? Are you going to buy a new setup potentially to stream, or other things are you thinking of?
I haven't think about that, because Yeah, I just don't know what to do with that. I'm just gonna keep it. Leave it.
That's great investment. Just, secure it into your pocket. Congratulations on that dominating victory. You guys won every single series. We can't wait to see what you guys have for us. Definitely consider streaming though, because we want to see your gameplay and learn from you.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, I think every single interview we've had with BYL so far, they're just very humble players, right? It almost seems like they're not expecting to completely obliterate their enemies, but they're prepared for it and they have everything ready whenever that happens. So great job for BYL. Now, Private, let's take a look at the standing as we close off this first tournament of NAKA.
Yeah, in case you forgot what's happened over the last few weeks here, the standings thus far at the end of the night, the top of the mountain here, number 1 BYL, absolutely undefeated and a huge showcase here. Number 2 N19, great games played by them and absolutely dominating themselves, but just could not crawl over that wall that was BYL. Number 3 coming in, Flash a Smile It In, and number 4 Midnight Thieves.
Yeah, definitely. These teams have made a name for themselves, right? And that's the spirit of our community tournament. We want to give an opportunity for the players to shine and also give an arena for them to kind of practice and be competitive and build that tournament mentality. And I think if one thing the players can take home from this tournament is that tournament and championship mentality, being able to play under pressure. And that's going to be very important. And also building your team synergy and communication.
Yeah, and it's going to be amazing. Like we said, this was just the first tournament of the NAKA. Whether you guys see us in this tournament or you guys see us in a game with all the new modes that are out there, ranked or the brand new Super Flow Brawl mode, we will look forward to seeing you out there and enjoying it. It has been my absolute pleasure to cast for you guys. Like we said, if you enjoyed the stream, join the community. The Discord is in the description. If you guys feel so inclined, give us a thumbs up, a subscribe as well, set those alerts on as well for the next time another community tournament is out there. This is Private Dancer signing off for my part here of the NAKA tournaments.
Yeah, for my part as well, this has been a pleasure to cast alongside Private as well, and also to give you guys a good show. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the tournament as much as we enjoyed casting it. Make sure you go into the game and try out the new mode, and also grab yourself one of the skins, especially the Menki skin that will be free and available on March 18th. So make sure you mark the calendar. In just about 2 days, you will get a free skin. So that's something you don't want to miss out. Join our Discord, support us, click the like and sub, and watch out for more community tournaments. And at the same time, also support the international scene, as Semina Esports right now is playing in Asia. So make sure to support the community and keep on playing. And we'll see you in the next tournament. That's Liz signing off.